11.
I can swim. Just can't walk or dress myself. Take it easy. Take it easy.
Salute, and welcome back to the Black Ocean. Now, we in deep end with your host, the one and only Great Black Shark, and we are broadcasting to you live from the great, world famous city of Atlanta, Georgia. Oh yes, family, we got to talk about this because I saw this particular video by this goofy white supremacist incel, Nick Fuentes, and yes, my good brother Kid Gravity, I'm well aware that he was arrested, and I'm aware what he was arrested for. I'm definitely going to be discussing that. Another broadcast. Well, tonight we're going to deal with something very irresponsible because let me talk to y'all, family. One of the reasons why I started this platform is to address the things that a lot of people are kind of gun shy about talking about, because there's a need to talk about these things when it crosses over into our community. And tonight's broadcast, we're going to be examining some of this white incel rhetoric that actually bleeds over into these spaces online, okay? Particularly a lot of the Black manosphere spaces, what have you, they think they have a camaraderie with white men behind the issues with their women, when anybody with common sense would understand that our issues in Black America are totally separate from white men and white women's issues, okay? Oh, they are. But trust me, we're going to break that down from the A road to the zero tonight, because, see, unfortunately, the reason why I entitled the broadcast the way I did, Incel Babble versus Truth, okay, and do you recognize the difference, is because, let me tell y'all something, and some of you that are intelligent enough to catch this, we see a lot of these goofy incel-minded people hop back and forth in between B1 New Black Media spaces, okay? And let me tell you why they do that. Here's the thing. You got your straight hardcore coons that never come over into these spaces, but then you have your Sambozos that they waffle in and out of these spaces. And don't get me wrong, you got some of the divestment dummy crowd too, okay, and the feminine crowd. They do the same thing as these guys. Both sides of that coin will waffle back and forth into these spaces that are completely opposed to what we're trying to do in Black America as a whole, Black men, Black women together, okay? They like that rhetoric in these types of platforms, the fresh and fits, okay, the divestment dummy platforms, but they don't completely commit to that. They keep coming over here, and I'm going to tell you why. Because they know that what we're talking about over here in New Black Media Spaces definitely is the truth. They know it pertains to them, and they know they want to try to stay close to these spaces so if something happens to them, they have some backup. Well, tonight, we're going to help you recognize that on the men's side of things. And don't worry, we're going to get to the women's side of it in the upcoming broadcast that I'm going to do on Make the Stallion. Let me tell you something right now in advance of that broadcast. We'll make a lot of enemies when I do that. Some of you that subscribe tonight listening, you ain't going to be subscribed after you hear that broadcast. I'm going all the way in. I'm telling you, I'm going all gas, no brakes. Because, see, one of the things about manhood is when it's time to address things, you don't sugarcoat stuff and act like you don't see things. You have to address things for what it is. And can everybody hear me clearly? Can everybody hear me clearly? Give me a black fist in the chat if you can hear me clearly. Everybody give me a thumbs up if you can hear me clearly. Waiting on confirmation. Give me a thumbs up, black fist in the chat room if you can hear me clearly. Waiting on confirmation. Everybody, I need everybody to sign out. Wake up, wake up, wake up. When I ask a question, I need some answers, because the audience actually does matter over here, okay? Give me a thumbs up and a black fist. Could everybody hear everything that I was saying when I was giving my opening monologue here? If not, let me know and I'll repeat what I'm talking about, because I want everybody to be up to speed before I get to cooking tonight, okay? I'm seeing everybody so y'all can hear me, okay? So next question, could everybody hear everything I was saying? Everybody? Did anybody miss anything, okay? Gotta make sure. The audience is very important over here, because there'll be some people, man, they'll be sitting on these platforms, and I've seen them too, bless their heart. They'll be cooking. I'm talking about, man, they're good at what they do. Microphone be on mute the whole goddamn time. You're like, man, if they got out of that habit of never looking in their chat room, they would see that the audience be screaming, yo, super chat and everything. They don't even look down. You know what I'm saying? That's a bad, and let me say this too about that. That's a bad habit to have if you're a content creator, never looking in your chat room. One, it shows you have a disconnect from your audience. And number two, the audience is just as important. We're a team over here. So sometimes y'all might be trying to communicate something that could be wrong. And outside of that, you should definitely be engaged with your chat room and any platform. A lot of people have been asking me, why don't I, invite people up or have a call in? I may do that, but y'all just don't understand. I have a really low tolerance for trolling. So we'll see. We'll see. I'll tell you what, the best way to engage with me live is to join my X pages. I know I rarely hold them, but we're going to be doing a couple coming up here. In fact, the business next week, we're going to have the professional women's X space. Probably going to have my good brother Black Voltron Reloaded to host that with me. So now, if you follow me on Patreon, X or anything, now's the time to let me know what your X handle is. If you want to be a sister to speak on the panel, we're going to be trying to get you sisters to give some game to these younger women so they don't have to be tooting ass up in hell on OnlyFans to get some money out here, okay? So that's going to be coming up on the 14th, all right? That's on a Saturday, 6:30 p.m. start time, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, okay? But now back to business with what we're discussing here. All right, and salute to the good brother, Black Voltron Reloaded, for the cash out. Thank you very much, my good man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, here's the thing. This is an important subject because in life, here's the thing. You have to be able to discern what's true between what's false, what's mixed in with half-truths, okay? You got to be able to separate that. Now, those of us that are older men and women, we can do that with anything we listen to. But the problem is the younger people, they often don't have that ability depending on what type of upbringing they had and who they're around. They'll hear something where it'll be truth mixed in with bullshit, and they can't differentiate between the two due to not having life experience and due to not understanding that you need to question everything and ask yourself, what's the ulterior motive behind someone that you already know is a white supremacist like a Nick Fuentes or a white supremacist adjacent clown like a Myron Gaines, okay? So we're going to do the public a good service over here tonight. But before we do that, let me greet my esteemed guests in the building. Let's see who we see. I see the good brother Kid Gravity Beyond. What's going on? I see the good sister V Moss being here. I see Kevin Blackwell in the building. Tanisha Murdoch, okay. Let's see. Only Pamela's Way is in here. Derek Parker, I see you. The sister Stuns is in the house. I see my brother Nightfall Drop. I see the Lone Wolf Effect. Osash McCoy. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Welcome. Heat St. Cloud is in here. Okay. I think I got the Lone Wolf Effect already. Daryl L. Subtle. I see you. Let's see. Charlie X. What's good? What's good? Let's see. All right. Make sure I don't miss anybody. Stolen Ancestors 1526. I see you, sister. Salute to you and your husband. Project Leroy in the building. What's going on, my brother? Dad Miller TV. I see you. Michael Williams in the building. Let's see. Levante Snelling. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Welcome, brother. Welcome. Let's see. I don't miss anybody. My lieutenant is in here. Salute to you, Tam Chan. Welcome, good sister. Let's see. Hot One is in here. Let's see. Is anybody? I think that's everybody. And Devin Haley, I see you, sister. What's going on? Salute and welcome to all of you and anyone else that'll be joining us in attendance here tonight. So before we get started cooking this Incel and this Incel Babble, okay, let me say this too. This is gonna be a gut check for a lot of the male listeners, okay, over here tonight, okay? It is. It's gonna be a gut check because those of us that are older, we have a responsibility to make sure that we separate this crap that he's going to be spewing from going into just far extremism. And furthermore, here's another thing. Now, I'm probably going to lose some subscribers on this. You know, I've been one of the main people saying that integration was the worst thing that ever happened to us because it not only took away our economy and we grafted that into them folks' economy because too many of our people back then thought the white man's ice was colder, but it also put us in the close proximity of the white society, dominant society's demented, backwards ass mentality, okay? And unfortunately, a lot of our people have adopted that mindset. So we're gonna do our best to separate the truth from the fiction over here tonight. But before we do, we're definitely gonna get it into an old school classic right here. And now we can really laugh at this because before we was clowning this helpful man, we actually thought she had a chance to win. I'm talking about none other than everybody's favorite Ski Wee VP, Commandment Harris. Oh, yeah, I got to torture you, family. Hey, listen, I thought about it, so I had to bring it back. That's what friends are for. So we'll go ahead and play this one time, then we're going to get started cooking this incel.
Let me tell you guys about I have a plan. An incredible plan to lower inflation. If you like me, inflation is gone.
Wow.
That's incredible.
It's true, I am.
Why can't you just do it now?
Next topic, the border.
If you like me, I've got a plan to stop all the border crossings.
Amazing.
What a leader.
Visionary.
Why can't you start on that now?
Next question. What do you plan to do about the war in Ukraine?
I'm gonna fix the war. The war's gotta be fixed.
Yeah, aren't y'all glad that the Biden-Harris administration is on its way out the door? Aren't y'all so glad? I mean, I don't think a lot of people realize what type of bullet we dies with that babbling, mass incarcerating, hitting the bottle on a regular basis, ski-wee bedwench, okay, and her tub-wash greens. Get the fuck out of office. January cannot come fast enough. And I'm going to tell you right now, I know a lot of the tethers are upset, shaking and quaking in their boots. I'm going to tell you, this channel is going to always be promoting the icing up over here. Oh, yes, every platform you follow me on. We're going to make sure that our people have that good information that they need. Because to be honest with you, if they want to expedite getting these bastards up out of here, go ahead and offer cash rewards in all 50 states. Get their asses up out of here, okay? And see, let me say something on that before we go ahead and get started on this incel here. Family, and I'm talking to white America when I say this too. We talking to everybody, every American citizen. Any governor, mayor, government official whatsoever elected by the people that's talking about they're going to stand in the way of deporting these illegal aliens out of here, especially ones that's committing crimes. They want to hold on to that sanctuary city status. You have a duty as a taxpaying American citizen to make sure you get their asses out of office. And see, I'm going to push it a step further. Let me throw this out here, especially for the young brothers and sisters on the black grassroots that go to these city council meetings. This is important. This is the reason why it's important, like our good brother Greg Marcel Dixon says, that it's not enough that we just challenge, but some of us must start running for these positions, those of us that are qualified and fit to do so, especially you young people, okay? I'm going to throw something out here that I want everybody to consider bringing to the table. See, it's good that we got to this point with this election and we made the Democrats crash and burn in Black America, okay? But the next step is, okay, after you deal with any type of threat and you mitigate that threat, the next step is to make sure that, okay, this can never be repeated again. So where I'm going with this, everybody should be pushing for getting sanctuary cities illegal in all 50 states, and then making sure that there's a penalty for any government official, because actually any government official in any state that's talking about they're not going to cooperate with the federal government as far as upholding the laws of this sovereign nation here as far as illegal aliens, they're actually committing treason, to be honest with you. So there must be penalties against them. And see, one of the penalties I propose is, and people have the power to do this, and white America, I'm talking to your nosy asses too, I know you're over here, you should make sure that they never get elected for anything, not even a fucking dog catcher. They don't need to be over nothing in society, okay? In fact, if I had my way, not only would I get you out of office if you were doing that, I would deport your ass too. You would lose your citizenship for some shit like that. This country has lost its mind. But see, fortunately, there's enough people Okay, there's enough of us that are actually paying attention to these issues and have the same mindset as me as far as solving the problem. But that's a whole nother broadcast for another day. And we're going to get started with some of this now. In the beginning, I am going to have to mute some of this because, you know what Nick Fuentes here, boy, you know where his mouth starts to go. You know what he starts to do, you know what I'm saying, with a lot of his rhetoric. So if you hear it, go mute. That's going to be deliberate. I'm going to cut some of his stuff out there. It probably won't be too much I'm going to have to cut. It's just going to be one certain part in the beginning. Probably going to have to mute him on that, okay? So I actually pause it when it gets to that part, and I'll let you know when it's coming up. Let's go ahead and get started. All right. So now, before we do get to him, I got to hear to myself real quick. We got to read something that, his little incel buddy Andrew Tate had to say, okay? I almost forgot to get on him. And y'all already know I've got broadcasts on this channel going in on him. And you know what? I call his little fans the tater tots. They love to uphold this guy because they see him as like some paragon of masculinity, when actually all he is a little confused, tragic mulatto. And for some of the things that he say that it has a little bit of truth to him, he has bullshit mixed in there with there too. And we're going to break that down now. I want y'all to pay attention to this screen, okay? And again, let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. If there's any issues, I'm over here watching the chat room. I want to make sure everybody gets this lesson here tonight because I'm finna go where a lot of people are afraid to go when it comes to addressing these guys. Because, see, a lot of people will say, okay, they say some good stuff, so I don't really want to criticize them. No, that's irresponsible, okay? So I'm not going to play that game over here. Let's get started. I want y'all to check this tweet out. This is from old Andrew Tate. Seeing a woman as your partner in life, in a life of war, only highlights your inadequacy. Okay, now these are his words. This is his tweet. Capable men outperform all females. They are a liability you are kind enough to protect, not a partner in battle. Okay, so now you see he was quote tweeting this guy here that says, it's Toby Turner says, anybody who says partner referring to their girlfriend is gay, they're actual gay people. All right, now let me go ahead and point out what the problem is with this type of rhetoric. And see, black parents, you better pay attention to this because if you have teenage black sons, some of them probably look up to this tragic mulatto bastard. First and foremost, let's just go ahead and get the ugly part out of the way. And no offense to anybody that is biracial, you can't help who you're born to, but I'm dealing with more of this tragic mulatto mindset. So when I say tragic mulatto, I'm not just talking about a biracial person. We probably got biracial brothers and sisters in here. I love you to life, especially if you got a mindset that's for your people, okay? You understand who you are. So I just want to be specific before I say this. First and foremost, Andrew Tate, his father was a Grandmaster chess champion. He was foundational Black American, but he was a bedbug and who ended laid up with his mother who took them to the UK because she was a British woman. So that's where he was raised, okay? That's where he was raised. So he can't relate to the foundational Black American freedman experience at all. That's number one. Y'all better understand that Dr. John Henry Clark spoke on these tragic mulattoes. That's why he never wrote that book that he gave a speech on called The Role of the Bastard in World History. And when he said bastard, he was talking about these people in the likes of a Tipu Tib. If you don't know who he was in history, Tipu Tib was an Arab African slave trader, okay? From what I understand, Tipu Tib's father was an Arab man and his mother was African. Okay, so you need to understand that, yes, you can do whatever you want as far as who you're going to date and marry, but there are consequences to that, okay? There are a lot of consequences to that if you don't choose wisely. And you go and land up with these people, specifically the ones that are anti-Black, that idolize them folks. And see, let me talk to you brothers for a minute. You create an Andrew Tate when you are so crazy about Becky and then you go lay up with her and you forget that she got all the power in this system. The woman is the first teacher of the children. So chances are in court, unless she just did something so awful that she's a danger to them children, you're not going to get custody easy, okay? Not easy. They're going to just default give the children to the woman. Now, she's going to be raising your kids, hence why we got a Barack Obama. Oh, you better pay attention to this broadcast. We're going to get deep tonight. So let me go ahead and tackle what the problem is with his logic here, okay? Listen, man. Yes, we have problems in this country, and I'm going to stick in Black America, okay? We have problems with our women. We do. Got problems with the men in the community. But how we survive to get to where we are as foundational Black American freedmen, something that Andrew Tate can relate to since he wasn't born or wasn't raised here. Okay. We had to work together. Now, dealing specifically with what he's talking about, he keeps saying that seeing a woman as your partner in life in war only highlights your inadequacy. If this fool actually studied warfare, he would understand that some of the most effective spies have been women in every country on all continents. You are a stone cold fucking fool if you think that your woman is some type of inferior component. See, that's where a little boy thinks. First of all, if your masculinity is up to code, you know how to pick a good woman, and no matter what trouble your woman give you or what type of argument you get in, proper masculinity know how to sit that back and balance, okay? And remind her that, hey, listen, we're a team. Now, if we're going to stay on this team, we're going to work together. If not, hey, I'll let you go your way, you go mine. But this whole looking down on women, capable men outperform all females. That depends on what you're talking about, Andrew. We outperform them in a lot of physical tasks, but see, let me tell you the benefit of a grown man talking to you, not some little boyish incel, okay? Because you can have sex and still have an incel mind. That's another thing we're going to talk about here tonight, too. Understand that even if we outperform a lot of women at physical tasks, they can see the world in a different light than we do, just like we see things differently than they do. That is an advantage to a smart man. You understand? There's a reason why the Bible said that he who finds a wife finds a good thing, okay? Yes, we understand the situation here today, but it's not impossible to pick a good woman, okay? It's not. This also comes from that goofy black pill philosophy, which is very dangerous, which a lot of them incels latch on to. And you got content creators, even some black ones, that believe in that bullshit. Let me tell y'all ladies something, man, that's dangerous. I really got to take the time to break all them so-called pill ideologies down, because a lot of people will touch on it, but they waffle around. And then some people that speak on it, they don't really know what the fuck they talking about. They have a half-ass viewpoint on each one of them. So I'm going to make sure I prioritize getting that broadcast done too. But let's further go into what else he said. He said that they are a liability you are kind enough to protect, not a partner in battle. Listen, Andrew, and anybody else that's stupid enough to believe that bullshit, first and foremost, if your woman, hold on, wait a minute. Yeah, y'all be careful here with your hands here, my moderators. Some of y'all is heavy-handed, man. Don't block our regulars now. Be careful. He telling folks, if you got to watch my broadcast with your phone in your pocket, hey, don't even do that. Or at least have the chat window inactive, okay? Sometimes, our regulars get blocked. So mistakes happen, but be careful about that. Now, like I was saying, if you're silly enough to think that a woman is a liability in battle that you only have to protect, let me give you one of my rules of thumb about dealing with any women, whether I'm serious or casually dealing with them. This is one of my rules of thumb in either situation. One of the mandatory requirements for a woman to even talk to me, I'm going to train you in the things I know as far as self-defense. Now, if you don't like that, you want the people to, I don't want to be trained with weapons. I don't want to fight. Okay, well, I can't deal with you. You know why I say that? Because if I'm going to be your provider and your protector, I've got sense enough to know that you're not going to be in my presence at all times. And see, not only am I going to teach you how to physically defend yourself with armed combat and unarmed combat, I'm going to teach you how to think tactically, okay? In a world that every opportunity somebody tried to take advantage of you, it's out there, okay? So what I'm saying is, your woman is not going to be a liability to you if you teach her properly. That is a part of manhood, okay? I don't give a damn if some women don't like the way I said that. Yes, proper masculinity. In our proper role, we are supposed to teach you what you don't know. You damn right. Because see, let me tell you why that's important. It's not even about a superiority complex. It's not about lording things over you. It's about, okay, should we progress to a marriage and we have children? If something happens to me, whether you choose to stay single or you meet another man, I'm supposed to teach you skills that are going to allow you to hold it down and protect these children if something happened to me. Even if I'm alive. let's go here. Let's flesh out this foolishness that he's talking about. Because see, I see why he's saying that. Because if you look down on women and you're incapable, and yes, I said incapable of teaching them what I just spoke about, then you would have this ideology. Let me give you another real scenario. Because see, the married men in here, y'all gonna feel me. And no, I'm not a married man, but see, I've got sense enough to understand how you're supposed to operate. I came up in a 2-parent household, so I get this. Here's the deal. What if there's a situation? I'm gonna give you a couple scenarios, 2 of them. What if there's a situation where y'all, heaven forbid, have a home invasion, okay? Now, both of y'all are armed, but you go deal with the situation. One of them get the drop on you, okay? So if you hadn't trained your woman in what to do, she's gonna be standing there frozen in the corner. Now, you think about dealing with a woman that's been trained by a brother like me, oh, bruh, it's over with for you. Oh, because not only is she going to neutralize that threat, you ain't going to see it coming. You ain't going to see it coming. I'm telling you right now. So you got to train your woman in what to do in these dangerous situations, heaven forbid. Okay, so let's go with scenario number 2. Same scenario, okay? Let's just say this time they incapacitate you. Now they on their way upstairs to do whatever they're going to do to your family and your kids. Now, here's the thing. Let's just say it's a scenario where you say, okay, you go downstairs to deal with whatever you're going to deal with, and you tell that woman, hey, get this thing out, lock this door in here with these kids. You don't open this motherfucker until you hear from me, and you know it's me. Now, they come running up there. She hadn't been properly trained. They kick the door in. They just have their way with her. Now, versus a woman that's been properly trained, you ain't going to get a chance to open that door. Because I already told her, anybody come to that door and it ain't the sound of my voice, let their ass have it. Let freedom ring. I keep telling, look, this is what I tell my women. Don't be selfish. Be a giver. Let these motherfuckers have it, okay? If they violate the sanctity of your home, you're supposed to light their ass up. You hear me? Okay? So I just wanted to deal with that type of childish logic right there. Because see, you'd be surprised how many people in these spaces will eat this shit up and like, oh man, he's spitting facts. No, that is his inadequacy to properly teach and have a woman come under his guidance, because see, when you think like a little boy, you cannot lead like a man. Let me say it again. When you think like a little boy, you cannot lead like a man. It does not matter how much money you have either, okay? We're going to get into that a little bit later too. Let's continue. We got to break this shit down, man. So now here's the real bullshit right here that confuse a lot of these young black men, okay? Or a lot of the incels ain't going to like this shit right now. And look, let me say this too. Don't think that I don't know that some of them aren't subscribed to my channel. I know it. You can't control who watch your content, and you can't control who subscribe to your channel or what have you. But I know, because I've been around these spaces long enough. I know how they like to try to straddle the fence. They may not say nothing, but they over here listening. Let's read this shit. Hold on, let me get a swig of this water, because we're finna break this down. We're going to get to Nick in just a second, but I got to go ahead and break this down too, because I saw this and I said, yeah, I got to add this in here. Good old H2O. Hope you ladies and gentlemen out there are consuming your water. Okay, it's very good for you. Get off the alcohol and the sodas and get on you some H2O. Okay, but let's read Tate's next little couple of statements. He says females aim to domesticate you. They want you monogamous so that your testosterone level drops. Then you end up strolling IKEA and laughing at her jokes. It's suicide for a man's ability to run an empire. Ignore what women ask for, totally ignore it, and focus on being important. Oh yeah, I know. Oh no, we gonna break this down with balance, okay? Because see, what guys like this will do, they'll take truths and they'll take far extreme examples and try to apply that to all women. Okay, so let's deal with the first thing. He said females aim to domesticate you. They're gonna try it. Yeah, they're going to test you to see if you made of what you made of. And if you a simp, they'll run all over your ass. That's what they're programmed to do. But if you a man, listen, you stand on business no matter how fine she is, no matter where she fit your physical attractiveness specs to a T. I know, speaking for me, that's how I am. I don't give a damn what you look like. I'm going to let you know, look, ain't going to be what one man in this relationship. You ain't going to be calling me bruh, bro, or none of that bullshit. If you don't know how to be a feminine female, I'm going to send you packing. Got to be no hard feelings. And a man is going to say that shit from jump, regardless of anybody's feelings, okay? See, there's only a few men out here left that are like myself that would just tell you straight up. And I don't give a damn if you don't like it or not, okay? Hey, look, this new age bullshit where you got these dudes running around out here, they wearing purses and shit. Them and they women walking around with the same purse. Nah, man, Generation X, from my closet, we ain't going. Most of us just ain't going, okay? So that's first part of that. Let's get to the rest of what he said. He said they want you monogamous so your testosterone level drops. Then you end up strolling IKEA and laughing at her jokes. Okay. First and foremost, I know everybody's situation is different. But monogamy, let me tell you why that works out on both ends as far as a marriage is concerned, okay? Yes, we understand that it definitely works out on the end of women not to be running around out here letting all types of dudes skeet up in them because, hell, now you got the issue of, do you know whose baby this is, okay? So it definitely makes sense on that end. On the men's end, pay attention. I don't care how much money you got. We got examples, the Futures, the Nick Cannons, the so on and so forth. If you have a bunch of different kids by different women all over the place, you're not going to be able to raise those kids under one standard, especially if you don't have them under your roof. You're not going to be able to raise them under one standard. If they all over the place, if something happens and it's an emergency, you can't just come downstairs and deal with that because they under your roof. You got to scatter all over the place. See, this jackass has been watching too much shit like Game of Thrones. And see, you got to watch some of these niggas, too, that's always bragging about Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones. They really into that bullshit. You got to be able to leave entertainment. See, this grown man talk over here tonight. I should have done this broadcast a long time ago. Let me tell y'all something, man. When it comes to keeping your testosterone level high, that's up to you as a man by your nutrition, how often you exercise. That ain't got nothing to do with you being in proximity to a woman unless you're going to let her run you, because last time I checked, when I came out my mother's womb and these twig and berries was attached to me, they hadn't left me yet, okay? Mine are still attached. So my yes means yes and my no means no. You understand? See, for all this bragging that somebody like him goes on to do, like he's so tough and he's in charge, sounds to me like he doesn't think he can be with a woman and be in control of any type of situation. That's what it sounds like to me. So I'm just saying, let's just debunk that whole bullshit right there. So he goes on to say, it's suicide for a man's ability to run an empire. First and foremost, let me point this out and be very clear on what I'm saying. Can you build an empire as a man and run it by yourself? Sure, you can. You can. You definitely can do that if you're smart enough. Here's the problem. If you running that empire by yourself, and I want to give y'all a real scenario, I'm going to make this simple so that even a 5-year-old can understand it. If you're running an empire by yourself and you hadn't picked the right woman, I didn't say any. Notice I said the right, because see, when you talk to these incels, you got to be specific in your language. So if they try to take anything out of context, all somebody got to do is just point you back to the original broadcast. If you choose the right woman, then you can have a partner that will help you run that. Because see, let me tell you something. If you take a man that runs an empire by itself versus a husband and wife that's your competitor, okay, let's you know what? Instead of empires as far as corporate companies or anything, let's do this in the context of, let's just say there's a king running a kingdom, and then his rival is a king that actually has a queen by his side. Where my people at that play chess in here? Let me ask you a question. Where my people that play chess? Anybody in this room that play chess? Because you finna learn something over here tonight, okay? See, all the incel babble, all the little boy talk, we finna squash all that over here tonight. Anybody in my chat room play chess? Where my chess players at? Give me a thumbs up. Let me know. Sound off. Where my chess players at? Because if you're not one, that's something I encourage you to do. That is a thinking man's game and is a thinking woman's game. In fact, the business, it will really behoove you women to learn how to play that. I'm telling you right now, you can apply that. That will help you in your patience and it'll help you in your strategy and dealing with things in life. But nonetheless, here's the reason why I'm saying that. In that scenario I just gave here, you got a king by himself with his kingdom, and there's his rival that's a king with a queen. Everybody know that queen can move anywhere on that chessboard, okay? Sure, the king, he run things, but that queen can go anywhere. So now you think about a situation where these kingdoms get ready to go to war. Let me tell you something right now. Some of you women, y'all gonna laugh at this. Some of you brothers gonna laugh at this. I'm gonna tell you right now, if I'm getting ready to go to war, sure, I can handle it by myself as a man, but you be a fool to think that you don't have an advantage because you women, boy, see, we love y'all to life, but we got to tell the truth, boy. Y'all can be cold-blooded. I'm telling you, boy, y'all can be cold-blooded. I'm going to tell you right now, if I'm getting ready to go to war, I want that cold-blooded on my side. It'll be shit that women be talking about doing sometimes. You'll be like, damn, where my dudes in here that's married or you got long-term girlfriends? Come on now. Am I telling the truth or am I telling a lie? Sometimes, man, like, look, watch this. Sometimes, man, brothers, because you know when your woman really love you and she crazy about you, I'm talking about, man, she crazy to the point she want to fight over you. Man, somebody do something, you tell her about it, and then you be like, yeah, that's messed up, but I'm going to charge it to the game. They ain't really cost me nothing. Nah, you need to get them. You need to do this. You need to do it. You be like, calm down, babe. I ain't worried about it. We good. Nah, I'm going to do this. And you be like, hey, man, chill out. Come on, brothers. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Case in point, watch this. You know this election that just passed. You really think that Joe Biden's wife didn't have something to do with a lot of little petty stuff he was doing leading up to Commandment's defeat, going live while she was out doing her campaign rally, so you know everybody cut to the president, then wearing the Donald Trump hat. A lot of little stuff he was doing, little passive aggressive stuff. Don't you know that came from his wife? Let me tell you something, man. If you a dude and you running shit and you happen to take a L and your wife see who your enemies are, you ain't gonna get no sleep in that household. She gonna steady be talking about that. Oh, I promise you that. She ain't gonna let that go. I'm telling you right now. See, sometimes that can get on your nerves, but that's also an asset. So you see why I'm saying what I'm saying here. Two heads are better than one if you got the right head, the right two heads, okay? So this whole, I'm gonna be a lone wolf and I'm gonna be an island forever, you can live like that, but just know that that puts you at a disadvantage if you ever have to go to war against a couple that's on code with each other, okay? So I just want to make that clear because, see, this jackass don't have sense enough to say that. So now this last part, he says, ignore what women ask for, totally ignore it, and focus on being important. All right, now let's deal with the truth of that and why some of that is good advice. If you're a young man, yes, all older responsible men, we tell you, listen, do what you're going to do, but while you're a young man, be focused on getting your paper together, be focused on perfecting whatever your skill set in life is that you earn a living with. Be focused on traveling, since that's the best education you can get, and acquire knowledge so that you have sufficient skills and experience that when one day you decide to pick a wife and start a family, you can lead that family as the patriarch in a responsible manner, okay? And see, one of the things about doing all of that I just said in that order, it gives you what you need to pass down the proper information to your children to give them the right start. And definitely you want to pass resources to them, okay? So that's where I'm going with that, all right? A lot of guys will latch onto that bullshit, and then they'll just run with that and not even think about anything that I just said because there's no balance to it. And that's going to be the key of tonight's broadcast is balance. He ain't done yet, though. We got to deal with this, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's painful. So he goes on to say, and this is one tweet, by the way, I had to break this shit up. He says, you will then have endless women begging for your children anyway, holding her hand and being her friend and letting her be in charge will destroy your bloodline. We're going to come back to that. Your friends are men. If your wife is your best friend, you have zero backup in war times. Oh, boy. We're going to come back to that too. Just another problem. Women are like kids. You need them, you love them, but heaven forbid you let them be in charge. Oh, my God, y'all. And trust me, some of your teenage sons in here are looking up to this guy like, oh, Andrew Tate. Fathers, you better be on your job explaining these things to your children. Let's deal with the top part of this. He said you have endless women beg for your children anyway, and he's talking about if you ignore them. Now, that's somewhat true, and let me put it in the context what I mean. That was in the previous statement that he made about ignore them and just, basically focus on your purpose. Yes. If you want to attract women, be focused on building yourself up and you'll attract them to you. So there is truth in that. There is truth in that. Now, with the exaggeration of begging for your children and all that other stuff, okay, see, listen, that's that childish arrogance right there. So I want to put that in the proper context as far as that. Now he says holding her hand and being her friend, letting her be in charge will ruin your bloodline. Okay. So now, first and foremost, see, this is where that little boy incel mindset comes in at. There is nothing wrong with showing your woman affection if you are a traditionally masculine man and you rooted in that masculine. I don't care if you holding her hand, you kiss on her forehead, you in public or whatever you gonna do. That does not make you any less of a man, okay? Let me take it a step further. This is where I'm probably gonna lose some of you brothers at. Y'all, let me ask a question. Let's see what I'm about to say here. Y'all might not be ready for this. How many of y'all really want to hear exactly how masculine a brother like me is? How many of y'all want to hear this? Because I was old school traditional masculine. How many of y'all want to hear it? Let me know. Because I'm about to tell you something. Y'all gonna be like, oh, he do that? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna explain why I'm gonna do it. Y'all want to know? Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Y'all want to know? Let me know something in the chat room. And can y'all hear me okay? I want to make sure my audio is straight. All right, making sure. Back to business. Let me check. Okay. All right, good deal. Okay, yeah, because see, some of y'all probably like, man, he don't be looking at the chat room. Yeah, I'll be looking in there. All right, so here's the deal, right? Let me tell you something. If you're a brother and you rooted in your masculinity, let's just say your woman is sick, okay? She's at the house. She can't go out. Now, you need to go to the store, and let's just say you need to pick up some items, and some of them are her personal hygiene items. Don't you know, as a man, I would go walk right over there and pick that shit up in public and put that shit right down on the counter, because my manhood is not attached to what people outside of my relationship think about me. And if I love that woman, I'm responsible for keeping her safe and protecting and providing for her. You damn right I go pick that shit up. You got something to do, man. I ain't going to pick that up. Nigga, fuck you. If that's your woman and you love her, man, you do what you're supposed to do. If your masculinity is attached to what somebody gonna think of you outside of your situation, you really haven't graduated to manhood yet, okay? So that's just an example of me, what I'm saying. But see, this whole don't show your woman no affection, I'm gonna point out why that's dangerous, what he's talking about here. You don't want no antagonistic relationship with a woman that you share the same bed with or you under her roof. Now, does that mean you be a simp and let her run over you? Hell no, that's not what that means. But being cold-hearted towards a woman, let me tell you something. Being cold towards a woman is the best way to push her to cheat on your ass. Oh yeah, see, we gonna talk that talk over here tonight. I know everybody love to look at this guy like he's some type of paragon of masculine wisdom. Now I'm gonna make him look triple chocolate dip stupid over here tonight. Okay? You ignore your woman if you want to. It doesn't matter how much money you got. Why is she gonna step out on you? Okay? Some women will, because some women will just leave and they'll be like, all right, I ain't doing this no more. But today, I'm just being realistic about today, okay? Especially in certain generations of women. All right, yeah, they'll play that game with you. So that's very foolish. Y'all better think twice about that, all right? Now, the letting her be in charge part, this is the part that I somewhat agree with, and I'm going to tell you why. I agree with that because it's our natural role. We're supposed to be the leaders, okay? We're supposed to be the primary providers and protectors. However, ladies, the trade-off for that is if I'm going to be your primary provider and protector, you're going to have to respect me. The minute that you don't respect me, that's the end of that relationship. I'm not going to even play that game with you, okay? So, yes, they're not supposed to be naturally in charge. Look, the way I look at it and the way I was raised, if a man is able-bodied and he's capable, that doesn't mean his woman doesn't have any input, but it means that she's the co-pilot. She's the auxiliary, okay? In other words, you take the wheel if I can't steer the ship no more. If I'm temporarily down, my back hurt, sick or something like that, okay. If I've done my job, as I mentioned previously in the broadcast earlier here, I've taught you well enough so that you can keep the ship on the proper course until I can get well enough to take the reins again, okay? So that's the balanced way to look at that. You do not want some antagonistic relationship with your woman, okay? Don't listen to no dude that's talking like that. I don't give a damn who it is, black, white, in between. I don't care who they are, how big they platform are, what they saying, okay? If you do that dumb shit, you're going to set yourself up for failure. Because, see, this is another thing I'm going to deal with, too, in just a second. If you the type of dude to think that just because you got a bunch of money, that your woman won't ever step out on you, let me tell you something, dude. It's plenty of dudes out here, younger and older, that's done laid pipe to some of the wealthiest men's women because they weren't taking care of home. You better go back and listen to some of them old songs back in the day by Sam Cooke and Otis Redding and some of them guys. Yeah, I'm going there with us. A lot of wisdom in those songs. Huh? Boy, listen, I could get the names of some of them songs, man. Shit, man, look, y'all ain't ready for that, man. Y'all ain't ready for that. Bottom line is, make sure that you have a balanced approach when it comes to actually leading your woman and actually treating her with compassion. Because, see, one of the main ways that you'll lose her, if you start treating her cold to the point that she can't connect to you anymore, she can be sitting right next to you and be 1,000 miles away. And when that happens, you're going to lose her, bro. Now, unless you want to lose her, hey, all right, ignore what I said and you'll see what happens. The friends are men part. Let's get to that. Yes, most of your friends are going to be men, all right? However, those male friends, they don't see what your woman can see. Every wise brother in here that has a wife, y'all been married over 10, 15 years, or a long-term girlfriend you working towards, getting engaged or what have you, you know that 9 times out of 10, your woman sees some shit about other dudes that you don't sometimes. And it will behoove you to listen to her, okay? See, you got to understand what a balanced and healthy partnership is. If you really love each other, you watching out for each other. You pull them to the side, be like, hey, check this out. Old girl over there that you dealing with, nah, babe. I'd rather you not kick with her. And your girl will come to you, be like, hey, babe, come here. Oh, buddy, them dudes right there. Yeah, something ain't right about them. I got a bad feeling about that. See, when you do have a responsible partner in life, you're supposed to function as a healthy team that looks out for each other. And see, guys like this, with his traumatic relationship, from what I heard Andrew Tate say, I think he said he only saw his father once a month or something like that. That go to show you his daddy didn't raise him. So he think that bullshit right there that he's on, trying to overcompensate for his daddy issues, because that's what that is. He comes out here and he spewed this crap. And then, unfortunately, a lot of young and principled men that don't have their fathers in life, they look up to him. And see, here's the sad part. If you listen to this jackass, you're going to sabotage your situation as far as finding the woman that you should be with. And I ain't talking about just keeping away the no good ones. You're going to sabotage your relationship with all women listening to bullshit like this, okay, without any balance or context to it. All right? Let's deal with the next part. He said, if your wife is your best friend, you have zero backup in wartime. Now, I just covered that. Bullshit. Let me tell you something right now. Any of the women I've ever dealt with, nah, bruh, they ready. Nah, look, you have to stop some of your women from getting involved in certain shit at some time. They be ready to go just off words sometimes. Y'all fellas know what I'm talking about. If you taking care of business on the 360, I'm going to try to keep it family friendly tonight, but you get what I'm saying. If you taking care of business the way you're supposed to take care of, man, your women will go to war for you, okay? So I don't know if he's ever experienced that, but I have, all right? And many brothers in this chat room probably have as well. So now he goes on to say that the women would just be another problem. Again, if you hadn't trained them to be an asset, then that could be true. And again, your masculinity has to be up to code in order for you to be able to teach a woman to be an asset to you in any type of confrontational situation, should she need to get involved. Now, preferably, that should only happen if it's like on the home front or something where it's a danger to the kids and y'all got to work together to protect them. But if it's just ordinarily by yourself, hey, man, most of us can handle that on our own, okay? So now the women are like kids part. You need them, you love them, but heaven forbid you let them be in charge. The wrong women that are immature like kids, let's get there. I'm not going to put that on all women. Yes, our women have their little temper tantrums. Yes, they can be petty at times. But a woman, a real woman, especially one that was raised in a decent, solid family, okay, she know when to turn that attitude off. She do. They'll pop there, but when the rubber hit the road and it's something that pertains to the good of the family, the women that's raised like I'm talking about, they know when to put that to the side. Now, I can't help it if he's never met women like that because, see, let's talk about that for a minute. A lot of times guys like him have that attitude because what they go after, the attractive bimbos, they don't have no woman in them. They're females, but they don't have no woman in them. Now, what do I mean by that? The word woman, just like man, is an earned honorable title, okay? It's an earned honorable title. Just because you're born into the world doesn't mean that that's what you are. That's an earned honorable title. You're going after the women that he may find attractive. Yeah, they fit your fancies for what you're looking for on the outside, but they can't cook. They don't have any knowledge. They couldn't raise a family no type of way. So yeah, the type of women he deal with are useless. Don't project that onto all of the women, especially if you're talking to these young men. Okay. So now the last part he said, but heaven forbid you let them be in charge. Again, I just explained the balanced way about that is, yes, you should lead as a man and she should be the co-pilot, ready to step in if need be. All right. He ain't done yet. We got to do this, y'all. Look who popped up and had to chime in with him. I'll take it a step further. Everybody's favorite Sambozo from Sudan, Sambozo from Sudan, Myron, Amru Foodle the Poodle Games. Okay, I'll take it a step further. Hold on, I ain't reading that right. Let me put on a bitch-made chump voice. Hold on.
I'll take it a step further. Women are second-class citizens. Putting them as the head of your relationship is like asking your German Shepherd to drive you to the grocery store. Cute, art in concept, but imminent death in reality.
Okay. Yeah, I know. And listen, I couldn't read that in my heavy, deep Southern Georgia masculine voice. I had to put on the bitch voice, okay, for that, because this is what we're dealing with. Okay? Listen, family. In his country where he come from, yes. Yeah, they do treat women like second-class citizens. Let me tell you something. Sudan is not quite as bad as India, but it's pretty bad. The women over there, look, let me tell you something. I've said this before. In some of these countries in the Eastern world, feminism would make sense for the way them women are treated. Look, I couldn't even argue with it in some of them. I'm like, you know what? They got a point over here. But as far as over in the Western world, nah, they're definitely not conducive for the black family. But the way they've been raised to just treat women like they're less than, yeah, so in his country, yeah, they're treated like second-class citizens. So when you go further to read, putting them as the head of your relationship is like asking your German Shepherd to drive you to the... Again, if you picking women solely off looks, then his statement would be true as far as that. Yeah, if most of the women like y'all see, and I wouldn't advise you to watch that bullshit, but if you're familiar with Fresh and Fit or Fluke and Fraud's content, the type of women they have on there, those are not women that you would be in a relationship with. So he tend to judge all women by what he has on his little bullshit demonetized podcast. Yeah, I went there. Okay. So you know he had to chime in with his bullshit. So now let me show you something else here too. Hold on. Let me show you something else. While we on Food of the Pool, let me show you what else he said. Check this out. In case you thought that was just a one-off with him, I told you we're gonna make all the incels mad tonight. Watch this. Check this out. He said, this is why women can never be in position of power. Make misogyny great again. Boy, this little toucan, Sam nose, bastard, illegitimate son of Gonzo looking motherfucker right here. The wrong women can never be in positions of power. Let's get that straight. There are women that are capable of leadership out here. We're not going to say none of them are, because that's a very foolish statement. We have plenty of female grandmaster teachers that led a great deal and can command respect amongst a large number of men just off the strength of what they're saying alone. Let's name some names. The elder Shahrazad Ali. Even though she's no longer with us, the Queen Mother, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, okay? See, there's women whose names that even though they're not here, when you say those names, they command respect. The Coretta Scott Kings, okay? The Betty Shabazz, all right? Listen, man, a great woman is definitely capable of leadership, okay? Especially if she's partnered with a great man that she's learned from, all right? So now you keep that shit over there in your culture, little Sambo from the Sudan. Yeah, man, see, a lot of this stuff, people don't really want to go where I'm going because a lot of times people want to say, well, it's giving them views, et cetera, et cetera. But sometimes you just have to go ahead and deal with this type of stuff, okay? So here's something else here that old Tater Tot made the mistake of saying. Boy, y'all better pay attention to this one. If you never go broke, she never leaves. And he's quote tweeting this guy here. He's saying cheating isn't where women draw the line, just don't go broke. Let me tell y'all what the flaw in that logic is. You ready, fellas? Because some of y'all probably think, oh, he right, GBS, he got a point. No, because see, any man that think like that, I can tell you didn't have a father that was worth a damn to teach you anything. I can tell you didn't have solid grandfathers and uncles. Let me explain to you the flaw with this. If you never go broke, she never leaves. He's not taking into consideration that, okay, you don't go broke. Let's just say she doesn't leave, and that's the only reason she's staying with you for her money. That doesn't mean you're going to treat a woman any kind of way and she's not going to get her get back. See, gone are the days of the 40s and the 50s where women would just put up with any and everything, okay? I know I'm busting some people's bubble with this, but we're going to talk real over here. If you think that just because you get a certain amount of money and you provide a woman a certain amount of lifestyle, you can just do whatever you want, go outside a relationship unless y'all got an open relationship agreement, if you telling her y'all supposed to be monogamous, you go outside and cheat, that's basically what he's saying. You a fool if you think she ain't gonna get her get back, especially the younger generation of women. Nah, brother. They'll stay there. They may not give you hell on that roof because you are a resource to them. Oh, but your ego is gonna be smashed when you find out what she got going on. Just look, let me go here. Remember Hulk Hogan, the old anti-black racist wrestler, fuck him and everything he stand for? You remember his situation? He was sleeping with his daughter Brooke's friend, okay? So in order to get him back, what did his wife do? She started banging their pool boy. And the pool boy didn't have nowhere near as much money as Hulk Hogan. You see where I'm going with that? Bottom line, fellas, money does not hold a woman in place. It's not some cure-all for you to just go and do whatever you want. Because see, I'm going to tell you why a stupid man believes in that ideology. Let's just say you do actually agree with this. Do you really want to create an adversary that sleeps in the same bed with you, who's cooking you gonna eat at some point in time? I want you to really think about this. You see, this is little boy logic here, okay? Do you really want to antagonize a woman that you're gonna sleep in the same bed with and eat her cooking from time to time? I want you to let that sink in. See, a lot of people don't talk to these goofy incels the way I'm talking to them. No, and see, let me go ahead and further double down on this. I'm gonna say it again. If you think just because you got a lot of money that your chick won't go out here and bang another dude, if you start mistreating her, you are sadly mistaken. Now, how do I know this? I've observed things, okay? Because you know your brother's a saint, okay? I do no such thing over here. Look, I have a halo over my head, okay? I told y'all, all I do is rescue kids from trees, help the little ladies across the street, and read the children, okay? So I'm a saint. I'm just telling you about what I've seen. I would never, okay? I would never steal anybody's girl, okay? I would just try to counsel them and read them Bible verses and lead them back to their man, okay? Y'all know these things about me, okay? So I'm just reporting the news. That's all I'm doing. Bottom line, all jokes aside, man, don't be the fool that think that money is some control all with a woman, because even if it was, that's not a good thing. You want to go out your way to try to choose a sister that's down for you, okay? Or if you're not going to choose a sister, you better choose a woman that's down for you for real, whether you got that money or not. Now, a lot of y'all probably say, man, that don't exist today. No, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that don't exist. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I'm going to tell you, let's talk about that for a minute. For the guys that think, okay, yeah, every woman leave if you go broke. As long as you ain't homeless, because hell, look, I can't even say that. It's homeless people that's out here that's couples together. I've seen that, okay? I'm not even trying to be funny. That's true. But as long as you don't really get to that level of being homeless, let me tell you something, man. What determines whether a woman stay with you if you hit hard times or not is all about how good you treat her, and if she see the potential in you as being the best man that she's ever dealt with as far as taking care of your business. In other words, she gonna be like, no, you down now, but you gonna get back up, and I'm gonna help you get back up, okay? There are still women out here like that. So don't buy into this bullshit, because I'm going to say it again. If she's only there for the money, that's bad news. That's not a flex. That's stupid as hell. Now, you're going to have a lot of people that disagree with that, but I'm going to tell you right now, look at what happened to them. Because, see, a lot of them guys right now, I don't care what they're athletes, entertainers, corporate executives, whoever. It's a lot of dudes that's learning the hard way that money don't. Look, watch this. It takes more than money to keep a woman in place. Just like for us as men, it takes more than their bodies to keep us in place. Yeah, we love, but listen, if you like me, y'all know where I go with it. I love to chew on all types of lips, okay, all types of breasts and thighs and stuff. I told y'all, attract a woman to me, when I'm looking at you, I'm seeing food, okay? That's what I look at you like the cartoon wolf with his mouth watering. That's how I see y'all. I'm just telling you, okay? I'm a connoisseur of lovely black women, okay? From all over the world. I love them, okay? But see, it takes more than just what you look like to keep me in place because, see, for me, let's just cast all the looks to the side. Are you intelligent enough to hold a decent conversation? Do we have anything in common besides just physicality between us? Are you going to like to go exercise and be physically fit like me? Because that's something right there I'm into. So at some point, you're going to have to go with me. And if that ain't what you want to do, then yeah, it's going to be some gaps in our relationship. So let's go further than that. You're damn sure going to have to know how to cook. I'm going to tell you right now, a woman that don't know how to cook, you useless to me. And it's not saying that I'm going to have you cooking all the time because I like to cook myself. But damn it, you got to be able to feed your workhorse now. So if I'm not worth a meal, yeah, well, I'm going to let you go ahead and be free somewhere else. Ain't going to be no McDonald's and Uber Eats and going out to eat all the time. Nah, that's for special occasions. You better know how to rattle them pots and pans, okay? So I'm just saying, I'm making the point that it takes more than money to keep them in place, just like it takes more than their looks to keep, us in place for them, okay? Just had to go ahead and deal with that. See, we're going to get straight on into this. I know y'all man, are we going to get to a old boy here? Nick Incel Fuentes, yes, we are. But trust me, what I just broke down, it was needed. So I'm going to let y'all know when it get to the point where I'm going to mute him, all right? Because he's going to be saying some outrageous shit in the beginning. So I will pause that and let y'all know when that's coming up. But we're going to go ahead and get started on this jackass because it's a lot to break down with this bullshit here. And see, I'm going to tell you right now, if you a black dude, whether you admit it in this chat room or not, and you listen to this, you be like, yeah, he got a point. Your ass is part of the problem. We don't have a damn thing in common with white men's issues with their women, okay? We're going to prove it here tonight. Let's get started.
You get married, your testosterone falls off a cliff. That's just true. Do not shoot the messenger. People go, well, you're not very high T. Yeah, I am. I have a strong brow ridge. I have a strong jawline. I have hunter eyes. I have big hands and big knuckles. Yes, I am a high testosterone male. I have a mustache. Okay.
All right, let's just deal with first inconsistency right here, okay? See, they love to quote these studies that come out. Now, yes, there are studies that say that, but see, again, keeping your testosterone level high, and it does naturally decline as you age, but you can keep it high if you eat right and you exercise and you have that certain type of lifestyle that you take it upon yourself to do, okay? So just getting married itself, like he's saying here, this little jackass, and I'm going to tell you right now, that's white women's business, but if any white woman is laying up with that, man, there's no words to describe the type of loser that you are, okay? Any woman opening your legs for this, one of these. Now, you hear him here. Now, I want you to look at him, how he kind of got that little limp wrist thing going on over there. If you look over there on the right-hand side with his hand up, and pay attention to his mannerisms throughout what we're going to analyze here, because he's talking about all this high tea he got, but this boy going to have some real feminine mannerisms about himself, okay? Oh, yeah, I want you all to observe this and tell me if you think, like I think, that this boy, he got a little sassy sauciness to his little mannerisms here, okay? He do, but I just had to talk of that part that he talking about because I ain't done with him by silence. Let him continue.
Okay, but that's besides the point. Maybe you think I don't. Whatever. Here's the thing. You get married, whether you like me, hate me, whether you think I'm too flamboyant, it doesn't matter. When you get married, your testosterone falls off a cliff. When you have a child, your testosterone falls further still.
Again, that only happens if you, the type of motherfucker, you lazy as hell and you just sit around. Now let's address the elephant in the room. If you are a husband and a father, that is a full-time job on top of whatever you do to earn a living. It is. However, you have to make time to keep yourself in shape and do things that help maintain a healthy testosterone level, okay? So this bullshit that he's talking right here, see, this is what that MRA community, that men's rights activist community, the white manosphere, and some of them goofies in the black manosphere, they latch on to this bullshit, and not one of them really understands how the biological functions of a man work. Not one of them have went and talked to a doctor on the subject. They just get together in a circle jerk and just spew this bullshit. And then you have younger black men that'll latch onto it as if it's the gospel truth. Again, black parents, you better be watching what your young black teenage males are listening to. Because some of them will be listening to this guy like, yeah, he telling the truth. We're going to deal with the things where he has a point, and we're going to point out the half-truths too. We're going to do this with balance over here. Let's let it continue.
And it's just biological. Because if you maintained a super high test level as a married father, you would want to kill your children. You would want to cheat on your spouse.
No, 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 no. Let me deal with this irresponsible bullshit. First and foremost, having testosterone doesn't turn you into some mindless, raging fucking beast, okay? Now, maybe in white America it does, but don't put that shit on black men. Having high testosterone doesn't turn you into some mindless fucking juggernaut that's just gonna trash and run over everything in your sight. Hell no. We still have minds and we can think. And that damn sure lie about you can't be around a pregnant woman because you're gonna want to cheat on your wife and all that. No. Cheating, whether men or women do it, pay close attention. I'm gonna say it one more time. Cheating, whether men or women do it, that is a conscious decision that both genders make. There's no external force making you do it. You cheat because you want to, okay? See, these little angry incel motherfuckers like this, and a lot of y'all ask what's up with his hair. Well, it's incel hair. This is what this is the classic incel cut. So, hey, look, for you bandwidthers that might be secretly listening to this, y'all better watch this haircut. That's a dead giveaway. My brother Black Vulture said, hold up. Since when is Nick Fuentes highly masculine? He ain't about that life. Now he's a comedian. Hey, brother, he is a comedian. Like, oh, we might have to get together and do a roast on him because, like Brother Kid Gravity said earlier, he's been arrested for, and I saw the video, and I need to cover that. The video was, I guess it was a white woman sound like, came up to his house, which is very foolish with one of these dangerous white supremacist extremists like him. Came up to his house, rung his doorbell on a dare, and he just immediately popped outside and maced the woman in the face, pushed her down the stairs, and took her phone, okay? Now, it's a lot to be said about this weenie, but you're right, Brother Black Vulture. He is not masculine. He's going to prove that throughout this. And speaking of that, we're going to let him get back to proving it. Let it continue.
Because with testosterone, you'd have a very high sex drive and a lot of aggression. And that does not really jive with a woman. If you're super...
Now, let me pause it right here. Yes, having a high testosterone level does raise your sex drive. Yes, it does raise our aggression. But see, you know what he's missing in this whole thing? You know what he's missing in this whole thing, ladies and gentlemen? He's missing truth. That's what he's missing. He's missing the truth about maintaining balance, okay? See, as men... The reason why, and see, this is another reason why you hear brothers like myself really get on them goofy feminists, you know what I'm saying, to be running around talking about, and what is it? What's that little fake, crazy ass stat that's been debunked so many times about every 8 minutes a black woman is killed by a black man and stuff like that? No, that's a bold-faced lie. Because if we really were the out-of-control monsters that we were, man, y'all wouldn't even be around us at all. You'd be like, hey, man, look, if it was really that bad as far that fake stat is concerned, y'all know the one I'm talking about. I forget the exact number, but it's some ridiculous number that's been debunked. If we were really that bad, it would be roving packs of black men just hunting y'all down in the streets. You wouldn't even be able to walk out safely without having a gun or anything. Y'all come around black men all the time and y'all safe. Now, there's some goofballs out here. Yes, there are, but they're not a majority. And in most places, if somebody try to do something to a sister, it's some brothers that's going to step in. Now, that tether class will sit around and watch that goofy shit. They'll do that like they did up there with the murder of our brother Jordan Neely. And look, yes, I know, I saw it. And I know I was reporting about it on X, posted the article where they dropped the manslaughter charge. And I'm going to cover that soon, too. I'm going to get on that. But see, this whole idea right here, see, this feeds into that propaganda where, like, okay, y'all saw that little crap where they was talking about it's safer to be out in the woods with a bear than a man. I'm like, nah, if you believe that, you's a damn fool. And let me tell you something, from somebody that actually hunts and has been out in the woods and seen these creatures in their natural habitat, no, I don't know no woman that would want to be alone in the woods with no bear versus being around a man. Okay? You crazy as hell if you think that that's something that's going to happen or that's realistic. But see, Nick, let me talk to you and say something directly to you. Keep that over there in the white community, okay? Maybe because see, look, in their community, let me make this division clear. In his community, what he's saying probably does apply to their men. Because, you know, when something don't go Zaddy way, hey, he killed the kids, the wife, and then he killed himself. Huh? You rarely ever hear about a foundational Black American freedman man doing what I just said, okay? So in your community, Nick, yeah, that's probably true. Maybe y'all can't control y'allself like that. Hell, all we got to do is look at what you've done around the world and right here in America alone. So maybe he's right about white men. You keep that over there. There's plenty of loving Black fathers out here, husbands, uncles, brothers, that we take care of the women in our families and our communities, okay? So you're not going to put that on us. Let's let it continue.
Aggressive male with a high sex drive, and you're in bed with a woman who's totally insane because of her hormones and she's pregnant. It's just not a good recipe. So our biology, in order to stay loyal and in order not to kill our family, basically makes us gay when we get married and have kids. That's just true.
Did you hear this cornball? Did y'all hear what he just said? He think that getting married makes you gay. Again, Nick, if that's true of white men, you need to say that. You know what I'm saying? And look, let's be clear. I hope he was mostly talking to white men, but in case there's any goofies out here, because see, some of them tell us, let's go ahead and clear this up. Some of them tell us will hear this and they'll be like, yeah, man, he's spitting facts. He's telling the truth. See, this is another reason, family, why we have to delineate from these people, because let me tell you something. A lot of these tellers be in the fresh and fit spaces and be in the Rollo Tomasi spaces and a lot of these other guys that's over there in that white manosphere proper, okay? They be all into that shit. And see, let me go ahead and address the other elephant in the room. Rest his soul, rest the dead. I'm not going to disparage the brother, but I got to keep it a buck because I'm not somebody that when he was alive and after death, that if I critique the man, I didn't actually go and look at his content. Again, like I said, you can't control who listens to your channel. Can't control who consumes your content. But a part of that problem in Kevin Samuel's audience was his audience was full of a bunch of fucking incels. Were all of them? No. But a lot of them were. Now, could he control that? No. But they all ran over there, and that's the main reason why a lot of them, not all, but a lot of them hold Kevin Samuels up on a pedestal because they missed the parts where before Kevin started talking to the women, where if y'all go back, you can verify what I'm saying. Way back before he got popular and a lot of y'all knew who he was, Kevin wasn't talking about no women. He was talking strictly to the men. And you would be surprised if a lot of people don't want to tell the truth about this, but I don't believe in lying on nobody in life or death. Regardless of whether I agree with all the stuff he was saying or not, as far as some of that cooning behavior, because rest his soul, he was doing some cooning while he was alive. Go back and look at his earlier content, though, when he was just talking to men. Yeah, he was getting on their ass, bro. Yeah, he was. I'm telling you now, don't believe me. Look, maybe someday I'll have to pull some of that stuff up and just to show what I'm saying, because it's so old, man. You have to go way down on his channel. For the longest time, for years, all he was doing was talking about men getting their stuff together. Hey, man, stop being out of shape. You know what I'm saying? Get your finances together. Hey, don't expect to be leading no relationship if you living with the woman. I mean, he was really on the ass about a lot of stuff. And see, what struck lightning for him was when he did that average at best video. He saw, okay, the money is in feeding these incels red meat, even though a lot of what he was saying was true in some parts. But he was very crafty about marketing that in a way where it was profitable for him. And I can't hate him for that. Okay, I can't hate him for that. But the truth be told, yes, a lot of his audience was incels, and that's why they flocked over there to that stuff to hear him, you know what I'm saying, when he was going in on the women. They missed a lot of the points that he was really trying to make. Because I do believe in his own way he was trying to do a good thing. I do believe that in his own way he was trying that. Now, whether he hit the mark all the time, that's up for everybody that consumed his content to make their own decisions on that. But the truth has to be told, okay? A lot of these incels will gravitate to spaces like this, and when that brother died, it left a vacuum. So they've been scattering to the Andrew Tates. That's who they latched on to right after that. And then some of them will latch on to the Nick Fuentes, Rolo Tomasi. They'll go over there every now and again, but he's like past news or what have you. Then, of course, you know, you got Myron, illegitimate son of Gonzo the Muppet Baby Gaines over there, okay? AKA Amaru Foodle the Poodle. Okay, that's where they go to latch on to this type of rhetoric, which is just everything is always the extreme. There's no balance to it. There's no common sense, okay? So I'm just telling the truth about that. But old Nick ain't done yet. We're going to let him continue to make a fool out of himself. And again, pay attention to his mannerism now, because he just told us that he's a masculine male, okay? And he got all this high tea going on. You tell me if these are masculine mannerisms. Let it continue.
And I think a lot of men, they never really recover from that. You know, there's a normal loss of testosterone as you get older, plus that. And a lot of men basically become cucks in their own home. Like they...
Hold on, I just forgot about something. Let me point out another biological fact. And see, brothers, especially of my lineage, but really all melanated men, okay? All right, whether you foundational Black American freedmen, Haitian, Jamaican, continental African, whatever, okay? Let me tell you the advantage that we have over white men. And don't believe me, do your research on this. If y'all want me to, I'll do a presentation and break this down from the A to the zero, because that's one thing I do understand is the human anatomy and how our bodies function. Both genders, okay, in detail. One of the advantages we have over them folks is our testosterone levels stay higher for longer. Did y'all know that? Black men, did you know that? Now, here's the caveat. And see, a lot of y'all ain't gonna like this. Not only is it naturally higher for us, they lose all that going off a cliff stuff. You're talking about, yeah, for white men, that's true, because you got the weaker genetics, you have recessive genes, and that covers everything in you, including your testosterone level. We have dominant genes, Black men. The only thing that makes us lose our testosterone at a rapid rate, get ready to take notes. Some of y'all ain't gonna like this. Drinking excessive alcohol, smoking, anything. I don't care what it is, weed, cigarettes. Your lungs was made to take in air, not smoke. If you got a combination of smoking, pill popping, all that going on, guess what? Your testosterone level is going to plummet. Yeah, I'm telling you what I know, not what I think, okay? Do your research on this stuff. And if you want me to, I'll do a presentation on it. So just bear that in mind for a lot of you guys that like to participate in the things out here. All I'm saying is we have the natural lead on them, men and women, and so many different biological factors until we choose to neglect our bodies and do things that are detrimental to us. So I just want to point that out. Let's let it continue.
They do become emasculated. They gain a lot of weight. They turn into a pussy. Their wife denies them sex. This is the reality for a lot of married men. Don't shoot the messenger again. Maybe not you, but yes, for a lot of men, that is reality. And I think there is this deep...
Salute to my good brother Kermit S. Wingfield for the Cash App. So let's deal with what he just said right there. It depends on what type of man it is, Nick. You forgetting that part. There are some males out here that are permanently in the beta male class by choice. If you're going to say you're talking to them, say that. Just because a brother is married, that doesn't make him a weak man. Because you got some Negroes out here, some of them in these spaces will tell you shit like that. No, especially if it's a nigga that ain't never been married before. Let me tell you something, man. There's plenty of brothers out here that are married, that are the heads of their household and are well respected. The problem with a lot of these goofy incels, because see, watch this. Let me show y'all something. Two sides of the same coin regarding what I'm about to say. Ladies, just like if you are a young woman and you coming out of high school and college and you ain't went got 3, 4, 5 kids from baby daddy here, baby daddy there, the other women that have fucked up their starting life, they gonna hate the shit out you. The opposite of that for men is when you have men that have did everything they need to do in life to get themselves financially secure. They decide to start a family and they choose a decent woman to start that family with. Get a good woman. They raise a beautiful family together. A lot of these lonely incel Negroes out here, they hate the shit out of that because they don't know how to pick a woman that they can actually marry and trust and that she ain't running to file for divorce, okay? They won't tell you that. What they'll do, they'll jump online and spew all types of silly intellect and rhetoric and claim to be intellectuals. And see, let me just go ahead and say that for any black person. We expect it from a Nick to Fuentes. But for any black person, let me tell you something. You can't be pro-black black first, none of that. If you don't prioritize building healthy black families, husband, wife, children, you can't have a black community without that, okay? I want anybody to prove me wrong on that. A family isn't a man or a woman, okay? It's a husband, wife, under one roof with some kids, okay? There's your black family right there. That's how you pass well down generationally, okay? That's how you build empires like Andrew Tate was talking about. You don't build an empire by your damn self, women or men, okay? So as far as us, those of us with sense, black men and black women, let's leave that bullshit over there in white society, okay? We're going to draw a line of demarcation over here tonight. Let's let it continue.
Dissatisfaction. There's like a deep shame that comes with that. I think a lot of men, that's why a lot of married fathers don't like me, because they go, this little shit, this young man, this young little shit, he doesn't know what the world's really like. My wife won't let me. There's like this seething anger. And when somebody like starts to point that out, it really bothers them. It really touches a nerve. And look, I don't know what to tell you, but that's just true. It's like it does bother them on a deep level.
Boy, talk about on white and I say so. I don't know what to tell you, but that's just true. Just because you said it, huh? And notice this little tick that he has. Anybody caught this little tick that this little cornball has here? He keep bopping up and down in his chair, throwing his head up. You know what this dude look like to me, man? Nick Fuentes, little punk ass. He looked like an earthworm in a suit and tie, a little alabaster earthworm. That's what he looked like. It kind of sound like an earthworm would sound if they talk to. You know what I'm saying? Earthworm with a fucked up haircut, sitting up here spewing this incel babble, huh? Let me tell y'all something, man. We clowning him and we are breaking down this bullshit, but you better understand how dangerous jokers like this are. Cause see, they'll let him run around in white. And by the way, he's not even a full-blood white guy, in case you couldn't tell by his name. He's actually a white Hispanic, Nick Fuentes. He'll run around talking about he's Italian. Ain't nothing Italian about this dude. This is a white Hispanic, okay? Nick Fuentes, all right? He want to be white so bad. And see, you better understand, the most dangerous gang member isn't the gang member that's already established. It's the one that wants to join the gang. So since they'll never really accept him as fully white, he goes out on this little tirade. In fact, in case you don't know, let me give you a little bit of education. This is the leader and founder of that Groiper group that's online. Do you know the one that's always using Pepe the Fraud? This is the guy that started that bullshit, okay? And notice that you'll see a lot of them goofy tellers using that Pepe the Fraud. They don't even know where the fuck it came from or what it means, okay? But I want y'all to notice this little goofy ass here, man. That little hopping up and down in his chair shit. He gonna keep doing that throughout this whole thing. Let's get back to it.
And all this stuff that these married like males do when they post memes about being a knight. I'm going to be a true Christian knight. I'm going to have a manly Catholic retreat where we sing psalms and drink beer. This is all like an impotent protest against their wives. And it's very sad and grim. And look, it's something we have to deal with. Like, this is something that weighs on me. You know that. Like, I don't want to get married because I like being a man.
You don't want to get married because you lack the skills that it takes for a man to actually lead and raise a family. See, don't let them fool you. And look, that might be a good thing for the white community, because Lord knows what would he raise if he did go and have kids. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I don't care whether it's in white America, in our community, whatever. There are some bloodlines that do need to die out. I mean, we just got to call that for what it is. So thank God he's making that choice. Hopefully no white women will feel sorry for him and actually give him some pity sex or whatever and mess around and get knocked up by this jackass. Because that's going to be society's problem, what you produce, okay? Because any woman that will live with him ain't going to be where two dead flies put together anyway, all right? But I want y'all to listen to this rant that he's going to go on about why he don't want to be married because I like being a man. You think you're going to stop being a man if you get married? Now I understand what he's getting at. He's basically trying to talk about how the American court system, you know, and family court has ruined families. Yes, we know the numbers on that. We know why, but I'm going to tell you right now, young black men, listen to what I'm saying. Your manhood is contingent upon what you decide, not society, not the courts, not nothing. At the end of the day, your manhood is up to you. The day that you succeed that and succeed that and let everybody else chip your manhood down, then it goes away. Nobody can divest you of your manhood unless you hand it over like a bitch. Okay? That's why I don't like hearing that bullshit. Man, women got all the power in society. How? They don't run none of these things. They take advantage of the system, but they don't run it. You know, you want to know, white guys, why you whining about women in this society and why things are like this? You got to look at your own men, because see, the men that set up these fucked up laws in this country that have it so uneven in marriages and family court, it's a bunch of old simp ass white men. That's who running the government. So you need to deal with your problem over there in your community. Y'all got it like this. Black folks don't run none of that. Definitely not black men or black women. Again, women take advantage of the systems, but they're not in charge of them, okay? They're not. So that whole, man, if the gynocracy, the women down there, ain't a woman on this planet can make me do a goddamn thing I don't want to do. My daddy raised a man, all right? And I don't give a damn what it takes, man. No, you can't make me buzz. Look, let me tell you something, man. A lot of y'all women probably gonna laugh at me, but the women that deal with me, they know this is one of my rules right here. I'm gonna tell you how old school traditionally masculine I am. Some of y'all ain't gonna like this. When it comes to any woman I'm dealing with, you don't tell me to do a goddamn thing. You better ask. I mean that. I would be like, oh, well, I'll be like, what you say? Oh, hold on. No, I will sit there like, oh, okay. As soon as you get your mind right, we can get back to what you're talking about. Now, women don't really try me like that, but because I let them know I was the real Bible, like, no, you don't tell me to do nothing. You ask. Okay? Because I extend them the same courtesy. You ask, all right? Because, see, a lot of these women today, I got to be honest, there are some women that they've never really dated a masculine man. They've dated men that they could push around and tell what to do, and you know, they just gonna chase after them because they got a nice shape to them. Nah, I mean, your shape is cool, but that doesn't hold any sway over me, and nothing you can do in the bedroom holds sway over me either. My manhood is contingent on protecting both of us, okay? And I can't compromise that. The minute that you compromise your manhood, you can't protect the woman, okay? So I just wanted to go ahead and point that out. This is gonna be entertaining, y'all, because look, a lot of y'all probably have never really heard white men like him speak at length about what their views on marriage and family is. And see, now you can see why a lot of them Beckys are trying to run over here to the brothers, okay? Because for the most part, black men, we're a little bit more easygoing and a little bit more reasonable for us dealing with women versus them white men, okay? Zaddy, a lot of these bed wenches don't understand. You get over there with Zaddy, a lot of them are like Nick Fuentes. A lot of them have his viewpoints. And if you think I'm wrong by that, why do you think he has so many followers across his social media platforms, no matter how many times they kick him off of platforms? Let it continue.
I don't want to get married and have kids because I like the freedom of being a man. I like the freedom and independence. I like being able to take risks and be in a dangerous environment. I like that. I like, being unanswerable and unaccountable to a woman or to a family. I like not being domesticated. I like that.
Basically, what he's also saying is he's not ready to grow up and be responsible, because being a man, and yes, brothers, yes, we are to be appreciated and respected for what I'm about to say. But a part of being a man, especially a husband and a father, head of a family, is being able to sacrifice, okay? Because we have to sacrifice in order to make sure that our women and our children, our wives and our children are doing well. We have to sacrifice. You show me a man that doesn't sacrifice anything for his family, and I'll show you a family that's doing very badly. At some point, we're going to have to sacrifice things. Sometimes it might be our time to go out here and earn a living. Sometimes we may have to sacrifice the things that we really want to have as if we were when we were single. So when you become a husband and a father, yes, it's not just about you anymore. It's about your wife and your children, okay? But see, I suspect this jackass right here, he probably didn't grow up in a two-parent household. I would be surprised this boy even knew who his father was, because that's what he sounded like to me. Look, let me tell you something. Just like brothers can tell the women out here, especially the older brothers, we can tell the women that weren't raised with your daddy. women can kind of tell, or people in general can kind of tell when there's a dude out here that wasn't raised with his father. Because this is how you sound. There's no balance to anything. Everything is all extreme. Everything is woe is me. I'm so scared to take a chance of life. Let me tell you something. Life was not meant to be lived with you in a fucking turtle shell. You can't be a man and be talking about masculinity and conquering all these things, and then you live in a turtle shell like him and Andrew Tate. There's no such thing as never taking a risk in life. Now, you can try to live that way, but you're going to be a miserable motherfucker, and that's a man or a woman trying to do that, okay? So I'm just saying, man, don't adopt this type of logic. Let's let it continue.
I like being able to eat McDonald's all the time and not have to, you know, sit at the dinner table with my hands folded and talk about my daughter who's a cheerleader and whatever. I like that. And I know that when I get married, there is a trade-off. You know, we could say it's a good trade-off, or it's a necessary trade-off, or it's an inevitable trade-off, but it is a trade-off. And look, it's a big problem that women have all the power. Women can accuse you of...
They have what's perceived to be power is because of your simple-ass white men in these government positions that set up these fucked up systems in place. They don't ever want to talk about that, though. You notice that, family? For those of them that spew this rhetoric, they don't want to talk about, okay, well, who allowed it to be that way? Who allowed it to be that way? If you're trying to solve a problem, you go to the source of the problem, right? That's how I was taught to do things. But you know, that's too much like right. Let's let this jackass continue.
Abuse. They can divorce you. If they don't want to put out, you're just kind of done. Like if a woman doesn't want to have sex with you as your wife, you can't force yourself on her. She'll accuse you of marital rape. You know, if a woman decides to be an obstinate bitch, if she's not attracted to you, if, you know, if she just turns into a completely different person once you have kids or once you get married, you're just fucked.
All right. So let's deal with what he just said here with that whole part about, okay, if women decide not to have sex with you, you can't force yourself on them. Yes, that's correct. You can't. And you shouldn't be trying to force yourself on anybody. Let me say this to everybody on the sound of my voice. If it get to a point where you got to force anything, you weren't meant to be with that person. I'm going to be honest with you. For me, yes, that would be a deal breaker. And I would make that known before a marriage and during the marriage. Unless it's a situation where you got some type of medical issue going on, and I see to the point that especially you don't initiate intimacy, oh, that's a deal breaker for me. I'm not going to stay nowhere where I have needs as a man that are not being met. Okay, it better be a damn good medical reason. All right, and ain't going to be no argument about it neither. But I realize that, yes, there are some men in so-called sexless marriages. That's a choice. You don't have to do that. No, you don't. You ain't got to force yourself on no one, but I wouldn't stay in that marriage. I'm going to be honest with you right now. I wouldn't do that. The Bible says don't be depriving one another, okay, if you know your scriptures, all right? So I'm just telling you what my stance is. I don't know what some of you brothers' stances is, but yeah, that would be a deal breaker for me if it wasn't some serious medical issue or what have you. Okay, that would be a whole nother story right there. But that just whole, I'm going to withhold. Okay, cool. I'm not going to have you wasting my time. Y'all know how I feel about time. I don't play that game. I'll get another woman, all right? But see, in this mindset that he's talking about right here, he's trying to take these scenarios, these friend scenarios, and make them the norm for every single situation. See, let's have some more grown folks conversation. Let me talk to y'all. If you're an adult man or woman and you dealing with somebody and y'all in an arrangement, okay, where you working towards getting engaged, married, or whatever, okay, long-term girlfriend, whatever the case may be. If two people are genuinely attracted to one another and there's no medical issues or nothing like that, sex isn't even a problem because you're dealing with somebody that you naturally attracted to. Now, are there going to be times, yes, when a woman is going through certain periods where she don't feel like doing it? Of course there are, okay? And any man that's a human being would understand that. But now on a regular basis, nah. I wouldn't even look, because like I said before, I wouldn't stick around a situation like that because I'm going to be like, okay, if we were intimate before this marriage and all of a sudden you ain't putting out no more, you getting it from somewhere, okay? So I'm like, nah, you know, you can do what you want to do as far as like, you know, not give me none, but I ain't going to stay there, okay? I'm just saying, no self-respecting man would. All right. I know that might be a controversial statement, but it is what it is on that. All right. So now, when it comes to what he's saying, though, this extreme scenario, basically, if y'all haven't figured it out, he think that him getting married and anybody that get married is going to be in that situation. That's that black pill philosophy I was talking about. That just, oh, there's no hope. There's no matter what you can do. Oh, just give up on women. All women are the same. I'm like, man, you game goofy bastards, man. See, people like that, they're like that because they ain't hanging around no straight-laced men because, one, we don't kick it around motherfuckers like that. And number two, they're like that because, like I said before, a lot of them didn't have any fathers in their lives worth a damn to train them on these types of things. See, if you got a father in your life that raised you, none of this stuff is puzzling to you. You ain't got to take nobody's course. You don't have to catch nobody's podcast every week. You can refer back to what your father taught you. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you're fortunate enough, like I am, to still have your father living, you can pick up the phone and call your father at any age. If you got a good relationship with him and talk to him. Now, I get it. Everybody's situation is like that, but I say it for those that do have it that way. Hopefully you got an uncle or grandfather or somebody that you can talk to. But see, for him to be this angry and just everything's extreme, I could tell he didn't have none of that. And if you hadn't caught it yet, oh, just wait. He really finna get cooking. Now, let's get back to it.
You know, and if you protest too much, she will take all your stuff. She will take your kids. She will ruin your life. You will be set back to square one. It's a big problem. And you kind of have a few categories of men. You have men that stand their ground. And
I got to point this out. I got to ask the question of the audience because maybe it's just me. Does anybody notice that when he says the word men, he said like white women do? In case you don't know what I'm talking about, men. I call it word frame. Men. Is it just me? Is he not stretching the pronunciation and the enunciation of that word out? Family, is it just me or do you all hear that also? Men. How about just say men? Men. You sound like little white women. Do y'all hear that or is it just me? Let me know in the chat room. Is it just me? Because I'm telling you right now, man, that sounds very suspect. To me, is man. I mean, that's a red flag. If I hear women, especially our women, that do the word frown on men, I'll be like, oh. Because chances are, I hate to go here, and I got to give the brother Terrain Walker credit for this. Usually the ones that are melanated that say man, like the white women, they have them damn septum rings in their nose. Okay? They do. Now, I'm just saying, man, the septum ring look batshit crazy. Brothers, you see the septum ring? Haul ass. Look, the septum ring is worse than the tattoos and all of that shit. The septum ring, batshit crazy every time. I'm telling you, let's let it continue.
Their wife leaves them and they're screwed. You have men that try to cope or live with it and they're miserable. And then you have men that don't exist now. Then you have some men who, by virtue of luck, really, that they will say they were smart. But look, women change. In this environment, there is a saturation. There is this atmospheric effect. People can say, marry a good woman. And yet, many traditional conservative Christian men find themselves in this position. Many women who were traditional Christian women, by virtue of TikTok or their friends or a biological change or a lifestyle change, will go off the reservation. It's because of the society that we live in. And yes, we live in a society. Society affects us. We can't secede from it. We can't retreat from it. We're in it.
All right, let's stop this little earthworm with this ridiculous Party City mustache that this boy got on here and this ridiculous haircut. Yes. The internet has affected women in general in all communities. Yes, it has. I'm going to be honest with you. Yes, we see it. It has good purposes, but yes, we'd be lying if we didn't say that didn't have a detrimental effect on all races of women. Not just one. It did, because see, if you just go on a lot of these sites, fellas, y'all done seen it, man. They on there every 5 seconds, turning around. They can't stay looking straight front at the camera. They got to turn around and show you their ass. It's like they just can't believe they have an ass. I'm like, is that all you become, is an ass? Damn. And that's bad when you got brothers like me that love looking at them. Like, okay, what else you gonna show? Look, it's so bad when you don't even have to be following anybody on these social media platforms. You be like, okay, I ain't even trying to follow that stuff. You gonna see it. It's gonna show up in your feed at some point in time. Look, just go to the Explore page on Instagram. You be like, God damn, is that all they know how to do? So I get what he's saying in that regard. However, even though that's true, applying that to the extreme, like you ain't gonna find no decent women out here. I'm gonna tell you the guys that say that in every race, okay? The guys that just act like you just can't find no decent women. These are the incels that they were ignored by the women that they found most attractive in school, whether you say it's fair or not fair. And then when they got older, they go on this mission of arrested development and trying to seek that fantasy of being with that type of woman when they should have learned, okay, if this type of chick ain't dealing with you, man, what you still after it for? You see what I'm saying? And see, let's go here. The Nick Fuentes types, whether they black, white, whatever, you know, the funny thing about them, in a sense, is they kind of like a dog that chase a car. You ever heard that joke? When a dog chase a car, if he caught the car, he wouldn't know what the hell to do with it. I'm saying that to say this. If they actually did get a good woman that didn't do none of the stuff that they were talking about, they wouldn't know what to do with that woman because their masculinity isn't up to code. You heard this boy, and I'm going to call him a boy, out of his own mouth, basically telling you he don't want to have no responsibilities as a man. So even if the right white woman came along, or whatever woman, Asian, because you know they like to get them Asians, you wouldn't know what to do with her. She would end up leaving you for somebody else because your masculinity isn't up to code. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care how much money you got, that masculinity ain't up to code. Kiss your woman goodbye, bro. Kiss your woman goodbye. See, look, I'm going to tell you. Now, again, I'm a saint, and I've told y'all, all I do, rescue kids from trees, and help a little old ladies across the street and read books to children. Okay, that's all I do. But word has it on the street that even if you got a lot of money, and you let one of these suave, debonair brothers, sometimes they might have deep Southern Georgia accents, get around your woman. Yeah, how much money you got? Boy, don't let that cologne be kicking and then it's underlaid by some traditional deep South masculinity. You might be in trouble, player. Now, of course, I've heard this, okay? I'm just reporting the news. I've heard these things, all right? But anyway, we got to get back to letting this incel earthworm report what he's talking about here because, see, a lot of you sisters that's just not hearing this for the first time, this is how crazy a lot of these white supremacist males are. And see, you got to admit, you don't really hear a lot of foundational Black American freedmen brothers talking like this, okay? Unless they're in them little circle jerks online, like in them manosphere spaces or what have you. I'm talking about offline doing your everyday life. You don't hear brothers talking like this. I want you to compare and contrast the difference. And see, let me give a word to you bad wenches out here too. Before you go over there and hop over there and get zaddy, you better pay attention to this commentary over here tonight by Nick Fuentes because you might get one just like him. Let it continue.
By it, and women are affected by it more than men. And we live in a legal structure, and we live in a certain kind of a culture. It does pose a lot of these issues, and nobody wants to talk about them because everybody would like to say the thing that we're all supposed to say. Everybody wants to signal that they're doing the thing that we're supposed to do. And what is the thing that we're supposed to do? Get married and have kids. Get trad married with trad kids and be a trad guy.
Let me point out the white supremacist incel babble because a lot of you might not understand what trad is. Trad is short for traditional, okay? So when you hear them online or on these videos talking about trad, it means it's short for traditional, okay? So that's what trad means. Let it continue.
And if anybody has any kind of a problem with that, no matter how legitimate, they get called gay, childless, incel, tiny penis, whatever. But look, that's just true. And Andrew Tate pointed it out.
All right, so here's the part of the broadcast where I'm going to have to mute his little ass for a second here. So, I'm going to mute him, and I'm going to pick it back up after he gets done with his little rant here because he going to say some stuff that I ain't going to play on the channel. We're going to let him get done. Then we're going to pick back up with his little goofy looking Party City mustache having ass. I think he's done saying what he's saying right here. So we're going to pick it up right here. And basically, I'll just fill you in on what he was saying. Of course, we all went over Andrew Tate. So he's basically saying that, Andrew Tate was talking about what he was talking about. And, a lot of white guys will call him the N-word and all that stuff. And, basically saying that, okay, if you're talking like this, you the N-word. But see, here's the thing about Andrew Tate. Little tragic mulatto that he is. He flip-flop back and forth on stuff. And him and his brother Tristan, they'll claim black or what have you. But then all you got to do is just watch him long enough. I've proven this many times on my channel. You go look up my broadcast on Andrew Tate. He'll start talking that anti-black rhetoric, okay? Because, see, you better understand something. I don't care what he says out of his mouth about his father, talking about how much he admires him and all that. In his world, most of these little biracial kids, whether they girls or boys, they hate that black parent, whether it's a mother or a father, because in their mind, they're like, damn it, I was almost white if it wasn't for your black ass. If you think I'm wrong, look at Doja Cat. Huh? Come on now. So I want you to understand that, okay? But anyway, we're going to let him continue to go on his little weird mustache rant, all right? Because this stuff right here, man, y'all got to see it. See, a lot of times when we tell y'all about it, it seems like we're being hyperbolic, but sometimes you have to see it for yourself, okay? So we're going to let him continue, and we're going to further debunk his bullshit.
Impact, you are totally a bitch for your wife. And look, he's polygamous. He has many baby mamas and many kids. I don't condone that. That's not my religion. But he pointed that out. It's a flaw. And everybody said, oh, well, you're brown. Well, you're a nig. Okay, well, it's true. People point this out. People like myself point it out, and they say, how many kids do you have? Well, you're gay. Well, blah, blah. It's just true.
Now, family, I got to ask the question again. You see these little movements that he got going on? That don't look like stuff that straight men do to me, okay? Then I'm going to tell you another thing, too, while he's sitting up here complaining about women, unless this was his intent. The boy don't know how to dress. Boy don't know how to dress. I mean, if you're going to put a suit on, man, put something on that looks up to date, and you got to know how to wear a suit, too, because it's the man that make the clothes. The clothes don't make the man. I can tell this boy, man, you're not going to make me believe, unless I see pictures of him or his father actually talk to him, you're not going to make me believe that this boy know who his dad is. I believe that's kind of where it's come from, some of it, okay? Because, see, for the stuff that he is making sense on, it's always to the far extreme with things, okay? So I'm just saying, do any of y'all know that information? I'll be looking in the chat because maybe y'all know what I don't know. Does anybody know if this boy's father was in his life? Because it doesn't seem like it to me. Let it continue.
And it's a complex problem. We all know it's there. Married men know it. Single men know it. Consciously and unconsciously, people know it.
Hey, shout out to my good brother, Dad Miller TV. It does look like a thrift store. I can't even say it. You got me laughing, brother. I can't unsee this now. Boy, y'all hell over here. But brother Dad Miller TV said he looked like he got a thrift store suit on. Thrift store ass suit on. Then Mrs. L, she said Nick got the weatherman suit on. Oh, no. Weatherman Fuentes. Oh, hell. Oh, my God. Boy, hey, listen, man. The joke's going to keep rolling over here. We got to get on this work, man. But see, y'all got to understand, I had to play this for y'all for a reason, because a lot of this irresponsible rhetoric, there will be people over here in these spaces that will sound just like this jackass, okay? And if you're not careful in how to distinguish the truth from the incel babble, then you'll have a generation of young black men running around here believing this bullshit. And see, let me say something to those young brothers. That's all I'm worried about. I don't care what the young white men do. If you latch on to this type of rhetoric and you don't have the ability to discern what's true versus what's exaggerated on an extreme level, I'm going to tell you, just like everybody love to talk about how women wait till past their prime and they're by themselves to the end of like Vivica Fox. If you latch on to this bullshit, you're going to run every woman away from you. And guess what? Unless that's your intent, you're going to be by yourself too. And it's not going to be by choice. It's going to be because you so fucking weird and deranged that there's no woman that can even deal with your ass long enough to get in no serious relationship with you, okay? Hey, believe me. I'm gonna tell you like the old folks tell you. Just keep living long enough, and you'll learn. Let's let it continue.
And I don't know how to cope with that. I mean, I feel like the best case scenario, the only way to survive this is like, look, you have to get married off the books. And, you know, that means.
The problem with that is, though, because you have a lot of people saying, we won't get married off the books. Okay, cool. Here's the problem with that. Heaven forbid one of you is sick. They don't let boyfriend and girlfriend go back into that emergency room. See, we're going to talk real life here because this little boy isn't thinking like that. Here's the other problem with that. If you get married off the books, you finna create a legal hailstorm as far as passing your assets and resources down, okay? Even if you have a living or will and testament. If that's not your legal wife and you verified them your kids, you finna create hell as far as passing your assets and resources down. So I get it. Yes, there's a lot of problems with marriage today for men. Yes, it's basically like sticking your neck on the goddamn guillotine if you pick the wrong one. Keyword, wrong one. But that's not to say that you can't pick the right one and have the family and the marriage that you want. And listen, let's be clear. Marriages, just like relationships that precede them, take work to maintain them from both ends. Men and the women. I got some content coming up about that, and I'm gonna prove my point on that. Okay, it take work on both ends to maintain what you have. You have the value of it. Okay, so let's deal with further reality with that. Okay, sometimes things don't work out. Hopefully, you can make it at least until the kids are about grown, if not grown, before you go your separate ways, if you're able to. Unless you just so toxic for each other that both of y'all reach the conclusion that, hey, you know what? We tried to make it work. We was in each other's life for a season, and, you know, we're going to have to let this go. And I hate to see that. And y'all want to know something I really hate? I hate to see black families, you know, split up and can't go and have to go their separate ways because they can't make it, okay? So, you know, for the most part, a lot of time what you have to do in marriages and relationships when you get to having problems, man, you got to take a step back, calm down, and remember what made you fall in love with that person, that woman or that man, and ask yourself, okay, is this little argument that we had or whatever, this really something that I want to end everything over? Is it something that just can't be worked out? You have to check yourself sometime, okay? And look, that's the key thing. You can't go running to other people, all right? Because when you start running to other people that's outside your marriage, they don't have to live with the two of y'all. It's the two of you that's going to be under that roof and in the same bed together, okay? So that's the thing. You have to be careful about running to other people outside your relationship or your marriage with your problems. At the end of the day, what I be hoping for with all of our people that's in relationships and marriages out here, that you can get to a point where the stuff that makes you angry, y'all both can end up laughing about it later on, okay? You know what I'm saying? Because now you get to that point where, like, you can discuss anything, even if you agree or disagree, and it's not something you holding a grudge against or taking it personal. That's a good sign in your relationship, because that means both of you have matured to the point that you can say, okay, hey, look, we might not see eye to eye on that, but at the end of the day, we on the same team, okay? So, you know, listen, man, we just got to get back to actually loving each other and understanding that loving each other doesn't mean that everything is going to be peaches and cream all the time. You're going to have issues, you're going to have problems, but it's about how you work them problems out together. And if both of you value that relationship and that marriage on equal terms, sometimes you have to sit down and reassess that with each other, okay? And it can't have outside opinions involved in that if you have that conversation with each other in private, because those conversations are to be had in private with the men and women that are together. Let's let it continue.
Either a legal architecture like a prenup or some kind of contract, or you don't tell the state you're getting married, you know, but that comes with its own problems. Maybe some form of communal living, like you either have an intentional community or, you know, you get a bunch of people together and you all live in one building or you all live in one something. But like there are a lot of social problems right now. There are a lot of societal problems
created by white men that run the government. You ain't gonna talk about that part, but we're gonna tell the truth about that. So say it all, Nick.
Right now. Male loneliness, no-fault divorce, the current attitudes towards divorce, feminism, they don't go away when you get married. They don't magically disappear the moment you, oh, well, and by the way,
okay, let's deal with what he said. First of all, the male loneliness thing. Let's deal with that. If you lonely and you're a man out here, that's because you really ain't taking care of your business, man. There's somebody out there for everybody. As cliche as that sounds, yes, there is. When I say taking care of your business, that means that from the time you leave your parents' house, over you could come from a good family that gave you a decent start, but sometimes everybody don't have that. I understand it. So if you don't, you can't feel sorry for yourself about what you didn't have. You have to start saying, okay, I'm going to make my life what I want it to be. You spend your younger years building yourself up, building your resources up, building your knowledge up, and you get yourself in a situation where along the way, while you doing that, you'll start to attract the women that you want to you, unless you start to absorb bullshit like this and on some of these other platforms, Fresh and Fit. Okay? See, sometimes these lonely males, they running all the women away with their jackass attitude. You really think you're going to be attracting women if you run around here talking like Myron Gaines and this clown on the screen here, Nick Fuentes, and many others? They're not the only two, because there's some black ones that do it too. Huh? So that's that part, okay, with the male loneliness thing. All right, now, no fault divorce. Yes, Lord knows that is a big problem in this country, but who put that together? That started with Reagan. Because look, the way that came from, they was trying to incentivize more people to get married. So they came out with that no fault divorce crap. And now, you see how it's being abused in the system by a lot of women that just hopping out their marriages for whatever reason. And see, the joke's on them, because usually when they hop out their marriage, if it was a good dude, they don't get another one. They don't. They really don't. Sometimes you only get one. Very few end up getting a good dude, and it's an upgrade from the dude they had. That's just the reality of it. So hopping back out here in the streets because you want to practice static karate, okay? Just know that you can go and join Vivica Fox too. I mean, I'm just saying, you can go over there and you can be her comfort. She can cry on your shoulder, because boy, she don't get it. It ain't no dude like she want coming for her. Why? You fucked around and wasted your best years. That last little dude that she was married to, unless he was beating on her or something like that, she was supposed to sit her little raggedy ass down right there, and so she would still have a husband right now. They get out here and they want to practice, static karate like Brittany Renner, who sitting up here trying to do the little Muslim routine, and she gonna be done with that by the end of 2025. Before 2025 ends, she gonna be right back out there doing what she do, because that's just an act to try to see if she can fool some dude to come, and actually take her off the market. That's just not gonna happen. She's done already, okay? So I'm just saying, man, y'all better be careful out here absorbing this goofy rhetoric and hopping out your marriages, man. Listen, it might not be perfect, but unless it's something extreme where that person got a drug habit, they beating on you, cheating on you, something like that, better sit your ass down and work that shit out. Telling you now, don't be like these helpers out here on social media trying to make it look, talking about divorce parties and all that. Them bitches are lonely as hell. They ain't doing nothing but drowning their sorrows in a bunch of alcohol, getting high, and going out to eat so that they can enlarge them backs. Y'all know what I done told y'all, ladies. I got to say this again to my sisters out here, because we getting on Nick, but I got to warn the sisters that's got sense enough to listen. The heifers that's out here, that's hopping out their marriages, I done told y'all the club that they want to induct you in. See, if you walking out there with your homegirls, this is what they do. I want you to look out for this now, because you might have to have something where, a little mirror or something where you can watch your back. It's going to be one on that go in their purse. Okay? I know y'all like, where in the hell is he going? Oh, yeah, some of y'all done heard this before, but we're going to bring it back. It's going to be someone that go in their purse, okay? And they're going to pull out a tape measure. And she's going to be talking like this. Okay, look like she's gained a few centimeters. You're like, girl, what you doing? Nothing. It was something on your shoulder. Don't you believe that, bitch? What she doing? While you going out to eat, she's measuring your back to see if you can get that much. She can get it as big as hers, okay? She's trying to induct you into the buffet master hall of shame with her, all right? That's what they're doing. So y'all women out here, you better watch it. Your little single ass friends, they measuring your back with tape measures, all right? Because see, chances are you slim and attractive. You can't just be kicking it with them and you slim and attractive because you might get you another man. You got to embiggen your back. So that means that she gonna call you and y'all gonna go out the week, eat 3 times a week, okay? Ain't gonna be no exercise at all, okay? So watch out for them bitches with them tape measures in their purse, okay? Anyway, I digress. Let's let it continue.
Decision to get married, that is the biggest weakness that men have. So men will say, well, just get married to the right woman. Do you really trust yourself to get married to the right woman? We're also living in a...
Yes, if we had fathers that showed us how to pick the right women, yeah, we trust ourselves. Now, you, Nick Fuentes, you probably never knew your father, because I don't really believe this boy knew his daddy. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. It's going to be fucked up to say this, but I got to go here. His daddy probably stuck around long enough to look at his little ass when he came out and was like, I think I need to try again, you know. He probably had the daddy was like, yeah, I'm going down to the store to get a pack of cigarettes, and daddy didn't never come back. That's probably what that is, okay? I honestly believe that's what that is, man, because it's energy, okay? The energy that he give off and his mannerisms, man. You know what I'm saying? And his little, you know, little weatherman suit that he got home, like y'all Chris do, okay? Little thrift store suit that he wearing. I mean, everything about this boy say that he really don't understand how to conduct himself as a man. And see, look, I know we getting on his suit here tonight, but I've seen him in other places. He don't never have no grown man attire on. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, let me be halfway compassionate and say this. You fellow white supremacists or Nick Fuentes out there, some of y'all got your dress game together. Pull this boy to the side. Pull him to the side. Don't leave your fellow white supremacists out there looking gang, goofy, and raggedy like this, okay? He frustrated. He disgruntled. All right, y'all get with him, man. You know what I'm saying? Look, if you don't know how to dress as white men, all right, because, you know, I mean, y'all got your own little style. Just do what you usually do. Go over to my brother, Kevin Samuels, rest in power to him. Go over to his channel and jack his swag on his fashion tips, okay? And if you don't want to do that, go over to my good brother, Jeff the Style OG channel, okay? Steal you some fashion tips from somewhere and help this boy out because he's struggling with it, man. Jesus, let's let it continue.
Society where marriage is a matter of romance and courtship. There's no economic factor. There's no parental factor. There's no class factor. In the old days, you know, the parents had a considerable say. It was an economic arrangement, a security arrangement. You know, women had to get married because they needed someone to take care of them. They needed to have kids. Their parents wanted to get rid of them. They needed someone to defend them from men. And men needed women to have kids, to, you know, run the farm and what, you know what I'm saying? Now, marriage is like, well, do I like her? Do I like him? I think I like her. I think I like him. I think I'd like to spend the rest of my, yeah, okay, let's do it. And men are saying, well, just choose the right one. Is a sexual decision like that something you're making in a completely sober state of mind? No.
Let's talk about that little earthworm in a suit, okay? Grown men, okay? Grown men. Damn, I almost fried my words. See, it's rubbing off on me. Man. Oh, my God, no. Grown men, okay? Grown men. We don't choose the women that we decide to claim and start a family or a relationship with based off just sex alone, okay? Is that a part of it? Of course it is if you're a heterosexual man, but is that the only thing? It better not be. It better not be unless you want to pick the wrong one. Now, you want to pick the wrong one, just go off of that. Just go off of whatever she can do in the bedroom that, you know, make you feel good or that you enjoy. You go off of that. You go off of that alone, hey, all right, cool. You going to crash all the way out. Look, let me go ahead and tell you something, man. Let me share some older man game with you, especially you younger brothers. Y'all might want to soak this up. You want to know how you really make sure that you're taking your time in a relationship. Every one of us that are heterosexual men, yes, we love the sex. We love it to death. Okay, we do. There's nothing wrong with that either. But a disciplined man, let me tell you something, man. Sometimes you say no. Like, no, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? And make sure that you are actually studying who this woman is. You're actually like paying attention to how she responds when she gets mad at you, When she get mad with other people? What's her patience level like? I mean, you take your time and you pay attention to more than just what that woman looks like on the outside. That's how you go about picking the right woman. But now, and I know a lot of y'all are shocked, and there's some women like, oh, he is so greedy, but you know I'm a disciplined, greedy man. I know that sounds like an oxymoron. You can't be disciplined and greedy. Listen, let me tell you something. I control my greed for you deliciously melanated sisters, okay? I ain't gonna sound like Michael Eric Dyson, but I can control it, okay? There's a time to turn the greed on, okay? Listen, if you're a decent woman, okay, and you behaved yourself, I might have to chew on a thigh, okay? There's a time and a place for that. But see, what happens if you just sit around eating all the time? You get fat, okay? So in the same manner of that, if you're a man that just all you care about is just chewing on thighs, then, you know, you're going to be slovenly as far as like your ability to vet a woman properly and pay attention for the other traits that show you that, okay, yes, this is a woman that is worthy of my last name that I can trust in a relationship or a marriage, okay? So I got my jokes, but I hope you catch the message. Let's let it continue.
So, you know, we're telling young men, Charlie Kirk and others are saying, get married young, have more kids than you can afford. They're saying, hey, horny, hormonal.
Oh, my brother Nightfall Drop just made an excellent point. Young black men, listen to this brother right here, man, because him and my brother Black Vulture have been dropping gems in the chat all night. I got to point this one out here. This is a very, very important point he just made. Brother Nightfall Drop said, facts. If female sexual prowess was the determining factor in men marrying women, then all the porn stars in Hollywood would be married. Absolutely correct. I'm so glad you put that in the chat room, man. Y'all better listen to that brother. He's right. If it was just all about sex, then shit, all the porn stars would be married to all the women that they banging in them films. Look, I'll let you know a little secret about that. A lot of them men can't stand them women, man. And a lot of them women don't like them men. That's just a job to them, man. I mean, because look, a lot of these little dudes have these fantasies about their little porn stars and stuff like that, okay? But really, to be honest with you, I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all, man. And I ain't going to put nobody business out there or say no names because I know some things. I'll say this. It's a very sad thing for male and female porn stars because a lot of times y'all be thinking like, oh, that'd be a great job to have. Man, some of them dudes, man, and these women, they on all kinds of drugs because that industry, it ain't what you think it is, okay? It is not what you think it is, just like the record label industry, okay? It's a lot that go on with that. And a lot of them, man, if they do get to the point where they retire, whatever, they be on all kinds of drugs, got all kinds of drug habits. I mean, listen, I'm just saying, man, I could name some names and point out some stuff, but I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? But just trust me when I say that. Everything that look like it glitter is not gold when it comes to that. But excellent point you made there, Brother Nightfall, y'all. Let's let it continue.
Teen males make a life-changing permanent decision with women with no legal protections, a decision that you are clearly influenced by other factors outside your control. You're not in the right, not in the right state of mind. Women and men change over time. It's not a hospitable environment for males, not legally or socially.
Let's deal with what he said because he keeps saying that women and men change over time. Yes, we do. We do. A part of progressing and growing as an adult in life is change, okay? And if you do not change, you stay stagnant while the world around you passes you by. Change is a healthy thing if you have two people that are changing together for the better. Now, the way to do that in today's relationships, you have to be the two type of people that when you come together in the beginning of your relationship and periodically during your relationship or your marriage, you remind each other why you're with each other, and then you take assessment of things. Like, look, I'll give you this advice. When you're dealing with, like, when you're looking at corporations, they take assessment of how they're doing by every 3 months, okay? 3, 6, 9, 12, okay? 4 quarters in a year. You have to do your relationship and your marriage the same way. You have to sit down from time to time and reassess how things are going and look at, okay, well, there's problems on either end and see how you can go ahead and mitigate and fix those things. And the more that you do that, you'll develop a system between you two, you men and women that are together, that is unique to you. And your way of solving problems amongst each other might not be like the couple next door to you or around the corner. It might not be like your mother-father relationship. It doesn't have to be. All it has to be is what works for you to keep peace in your household and make sure that you two are happy with each other. See, that's another thing too. You have some couples out here, specifically young ones, they compare themselves to other couples. Don't do that, because those people's lives are not your lives. You deal with your situation. Y'all perfect being together with each other and solving each other's problems, okay? Trying to keep up with the Joneses, man. Look, y'all are two individuals. You can't live those other couples' lives. So that's another big problem that comes into a lot of people just not making it either, okay? If you in a relationship with somebody, it's supposed to be about y'all two, okay? And see, the dope part about being in love with somebody, when you so wrapped up in each other that you get to the point where both parties, keyword, both parties are like, hey, you know what? I ain't gonna do nothing to her or him that I wouldn't want him or her to do to me, okay? When you get to that point right there where you thinking about somebody like that, hey, man, you got a good chance of making it. And Lord knows that's what I want all Black folks to have, okay? Because we need our families together to make strong Black communities and create generations, okay? That's what we need, man. Don't you listen to these dumbass incels out here, man, with this bullshit, because they can't be with anybody, man, or they just failures at relationships and marriages. That's their situation. Don't let them project that on you. You, Black man and Black woman on the sound of my voice on this microphone tonight, you are the author of your life. You choose where your life is going to go, okay? Not some jackass with a podcast or in some little circle jerk group, okay? And I'm talking about the divestment dummies and these goofy manosphere clowns or whatever they want to call themselves, okay? Don't you listen to these people, man. You make your own decision based off what your life is. Now, I'm not saying you can't learn things from people, but don't apply what they're saying as if that's gospel to your situation, because them people don't live your life, okay? That's wisdom right there. You can take it or leave it. Let's let it continue.
And you have people like me saying, well, let's just tread carefully. In an ideal society, we would get married as teenagers because that's when we're fertile and that's when we have the least mutational load. And that's when it makes sense. And the male can mold the woman and so on. But we don't live in an ideal society. We don't live in a good society even. And so you have people that are saying, how do we avoid the fate of Steven Crowder? How do we avoid the fate of James Younger? Did you see that? James Younger was that boy who his mother tried to transition him into being a tranny, and the dad said no, and the courts gave custody of the son to the mother. And they just finished that, and the mother's going to get custody, and she's going to chemically castrate the boy. Marry the right woman, they say. Oh, well, it won't happen to you. Well, what if it does? And that's the worst case scenario, but it does happen. But there's other scenarios like it. And so now you have to have kids. You can't.
Now, see, I want y'all to listen. I let him go on for a little while there because, see, most of the men in here, I know you recognize what's going on with him. This boy is full of fear, man. You can't be a man if you live your life in just complete fear. Now, is that to say that you don't take into account reality and some of the things we see with the family court and the system as far as the way it is with marriage? That doesn't mean that you act like you're oblivious to that. No. But to live your life in fear, what if this happened? What if that happened? Man, listen, running around as a man doing that, you will never reach your full potential in life. And you would be useless to a family, to be honest with you, because I'm going to tell you something. As men, we can't afford to live in fear like that and be the head of a family. You can't. There's no way you're going to be able to protect and provide for that family if you're living in fear all the time. You know why? Because, yes, fear is a natural human emotion, but it must be controlled. Why? Because when you're afraid, you're not in your right frame of mind and you're not thinking properly. And see, this is how I know this boy. He didn't know his father or his father isn't in his life now, or if he is living, they're not on good terms, because I hear too much fear in him. See, if you are especially a young black man raised with a father, your father, one of his jobs is to teach you how to live life without going through it, having to be afraid of everything. And he does that by his example. Then on top of that, if you have an intact family on both sides of mine, I saw it from my uncles, okay? Let me tell you something. Your manhood begins to be molded when you're a small boy, okay? From the time when you starting to take your first steps, the men that you're around, and when you start to become a toddler on up, those men that you're around, you're going to absorb different things from them about how you approach life, decision making. And, once you get up in your teenage years, of course, you're going to start to formulate your own worldview, but that's going to influence you. And if you're smart, you stay learning from the older men that are worth learning from, okay? Because that's what I did. I sought out the older men in my family, in my community, and I stayed learning from them. And Lord knows that their wisdom has served me well over the course of my lifetime. Am I a saint? No. Am I the devil? Hell no, far from it. But one thing I do know is I'm not running around out here miserable and upset and confused and I got to be online. I always tell you how bad marriage and women are. I'm like, yes, we got it. Yes, it's problems. Is that to say that you can't navigate that and choose a decent man or woman to be with out here, depending on which gender you are? Absolutely not. Okay? Absolutely not. You just have to make sure you take your time and see if the person that you're dealing with, you have to see if your values line up with that person. You got to make sure you have those conversations. Don't assume a damn thing. Have conversations with people. Actually say where you stand on certain issues. For example, for the young people, the older folks should know this. I hope you know this. If you're a younger person, you meet, a young lady or a young man or what have you, even if they fit your physical space to a T, you need to sit down and have conversations about the state of the world. Okay, see what their worldview is on things. See what their family values are. Okay. Talk about, what type of family they come from if you hadn't met some of them. You know what I'm saying? Because see, then you'll start to have conversations and you can make an assessment about, okay, could we be compatible? Because look, here's the thing. It's okay if you're not compatible either. See, what I'm saying, that's where a responsible man talks. If you're not compatible, that's fine. Some people just meant to be cool. It wasn't meant for you to be in no serious relationship, okay? But you have to be honest enough with yourself, whether you're a man or a woman, to admit that. All right? So take your time, man, and actually have genuine conversations, which is a lost art today, about where you stand on certain things before you get involved with people. A lot of times you do that, you kind of save yourself a whole bunch of heartache. Let's let it continue.
Let that get in the way. I still am a believer in marriage because I think it's more important to just have the kids. Your wife might divorce you. It might fuck you up, but, we do need to have kids. But I'm out here saying, look, if a woman is not down with you being a macho man when you are dating, she will run your shit for the rest of your life. And if you try to resist, she will ruin you. And men need to know that, okay? You can push marriage, fine, but push it responsibly. It is just not responsible.
The responsible way to push marriage, air quotes, is to tell young men not to make decisions out of fear. You make decisions out of logic. And when you make logical decisions, you consider all factors, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And then at the end of that decision-making process, you have to ask yourself one question. Is this something that you want to do? Because you don't have to do it. That's a choice completely up to you. But if it is, there's going to come with some risk, okay? There's no such thing as no risk at all in life. See, let me tell you something, and I'm not going to say this about Nick Fuentes because I don't know it for certain, but you got some of these incels out here like him that they just, oh my God, you can't take this risk, can't take that risk. And then there's some of the biggest drug addicts out here. They'll sit here and tell you about not taking all these risks, but boy, they won't think nothing about snorting a whole 8 balls of cocaine and everything else that they shoot up. You know how them white boys get wasted, huh? Now, I don't know about him, but I'm just saying, I find that ironic for the people that's always talking about the risks that are being taken and they on all these different types of drugs. So anyway, let's let him continue.
This environment to tell young men, get married, there's no risks. Get married young, have more kids than you can afford. You know, that's easy for Tucker Carlson to say. That's easy for Charlie Kirk to say. They're rich. They can afford divorce lawyers. You know, they come from a different, at least Tucker comes from a different generation. They have a pedigree. In that kind of high-class situation, it's, you know, maybe it's a different environment. And by the way, Charlie Kirk didn't get married young. He got married in what, his 30s? In an arranged political marriage? You know?
All right. I know y'all gonna be like, GPS, don't do it, man. Why do you but look, I got to do this because see, I'm all jokes aside, when the Nick Fuentes types, they get like this and they're all frustrated, we get an Elliot Rodger. Okay? So let me tell you something. Tucker Carlson, Charlie Kirk, pull your boy to the side. He needs some game, man. Okay? Maybe that's why he called their name. This is a cry for help. Y'all get with your fellow white supremacists, man. Hook him up with some white woman. It's got to be some little anti-black white woman out there that will deal with this jackass. As much as I hope his bloodline die, I'm just saying, you know, help him out so we don't have another, you know what I'm saying, another mass shooter on our hands. Okay, help him out. We don't need another one. All right, because see, when they get frustrated like this, it's just a matter of time before they sit down and write that little manifesto, okay? And then we get Elliot Rodger time, okay? So listen, Tucker, y'all invite him to dinner or something, man, whatever white boys do. You know, Charlie, hey, you got Turning Point USA, invite him to an event, man. But look, maybe you can hook him up with Tommy Lauren or somebody. I don't know. I mean, whoever your little anti-black white women over there, get this boy somebody, okay? Get him somebody, all right? Because, man, listen now, you know, we don't need him coming over in our community because if I see you over here, boy, you know, I'm going to neutralize the threat. I'm like, yeah, he frustrated. He coming over here to take it out on black folks. So I'm just saying, man, y'all get him before we have to keep. Let it continue.
Oh, his wife is some rich something. That was literally an arranged marriage well into adulthood for both of them. They didn't get married young. It was arranged. It wasn't romance. Same thing with Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz got married in his 30s, 40s. And another arranged marriage, political in nature. And these are the people telling young men, hey, come on, get married. It's whatever. No, it's not whatever. It's a big problem. And especially...
Y'all see that little head bop thing he keep doing that I'm talking about? I know y'all got to see that, right? And the little head bop crap he keep doing. That's I guess that's his little nervous white supremacist tick he got going on. This boy is not well, man. I wonder what type of medication he on. And yeah, you know what? Nightfall Drop. That is a good suggestion of Sarah Palin's slightly used daughter. Yeah. Hey, maybe look, you might be a matchmaker for him. Look, Nick. Okay, let me. Nick, you need help. I see it, bro. You frustrated. So look, I tell you what. For the right fee, I can give you a little bit of game, help you out. Okay. Now, you know the game I'm gonna give you. You'll have to do something about your wardrobe, friend. You're going to have to shave your little Party City mustache off. And you're going to have to go to the white barbers, go to Supercuts or something, and get a better haircut than that. You're going to have to get your cologne game together, okay? Whatever the white women like. I don't know I know what they like for being attracted to me. I don't want their asses, though. But, I mean, we're going to have to get you on grown man swag, you know, give you some of this, you know, get your social skills up, and then set you back out there with your white women. Now, of course, what I give you, you're going to have to get with your white gurus like Rollo Tomasi, whatever, kind of tweak that to make it work for you. But I just don't want you, you know, going over and crashing out, man, okay? Because when they crash out, they want to crash out in our community. They don't go after their people. They want to come after us, okay? So I'm just saying, man. You know, I mean, what y'all saying, man? Should I help him out if he pay my fee? Because I can get him together now. Look, that first thing, I'll be like, listen, bro. The main reason why, you know, women don't really want you, and this is going to sting, because, see, I was telling the truth. I'm like, the main problem that you have with the women, because I know he's struggling, okay? You got your anti-black thing going on. Now, I'm going to tell you, I know it's a hard pill to swallow. Your women don't like that because, you know, secretly, even though they don't tell you, they have a hankering for some soul pole. They do. Okay? So now if you running around with this little anti-black stuff secretly. They don't really want to hear all that. So, you know, kind of just save that when you're around your white supremacist male buddies. Okay, don't put that up when you're dealing with the women. Okay, that's what I would start with. Okay, and I would try to help him, but he would have to drop a bag. He would have to drop a bag for me to even try to help him. I saw where he was living at. I was like, okay, that's a nice house. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know if he paid his light bill from the video that I seen. It was pretty dark in the motherfucker. But it's a nice house nonetheless, so he'll have to come up all that bag if I was to help. Let's let him continue.
It's irresponsible when you tell men to be a simp, because everyone knows that when you know, love, like anything else, like any other human affair, is war. It's conflict. It's
war if you make it that. It's war if both parties decide that's what it's going to be. It only becomes war if both parties decide it's going to be that, okay? That's when it becomes war. Nightfall drop, you cold, man. You said send him Stacy dad. Oh, brother, hold on. I went with Stacy's dad on my worst enemy. Come on, Nightfall drop. That's cold-blooded. You know Stacy's ass tried to beat up Zaddy. And then Zaddy and his children, they had to Royal Rumble her ass. You know what I'm saying? And she thought that, you know, she could just call the police on Zaddy like she do black men. And you know, they're like, hey, they showed up. They look, I can bet this was funny. We got to talk about it now. It's your fault, Nightfall drop. When they showed up, the police probably looked at Zaddy and his kids, looked in the house. Oh, everybody in here white? This the only nigga? Cool. Bitch, let's go. But I was in clueless. Well, goddamn it, I guess you didn't have a clue what was really going on because your ass getting in this police car. That's what happened. It's your fault, man. I wouldn't even think about it. That's cold, though, man. Look, Stacey's dad would beat his Party City mustache off of him, man. Why would you want to put a fighter like that with this little weenie, man? Come on, brother. Come on now. Stacey's dad look like she like to bite people, too, so nah, man. See, he needs a nice, soft, feminine, anti-black white woman, okay? Now, hopefully, he and her will be sterile, all right, so they can't produce no little spawn. But I'm just saying, that's what he needs, okay? So, come on now. Have some compassion, Nightfall. Have some compassion. Let's let it continue.
And if the man isn't being a man, if you don't start on the right foot, you never correct it. If a man doesn't lay down the law, and look, don't be a...
Now, let me be clear on this. I'm criticizing his goofy ass, but now he did make a point that does make sense. Because, see, we're going to separate the truth from the fiction. He did make a point that does make sense. As a man, how you going to finish, how you start. Now, that I will give him credit for. That part is right. You going to finish how you start. You can't deal with women from a position of weakness, coming in, being a simp, kissing ass. And if you want to know what I mean by that, all that shit that Umar be talking about, all that crap that Derek Jackson was talking about, the ace metaphor and the rest of them, don't do that. Don't do that. Does that mean you got to come in like some kind of stomp down caveman pimp? No. But you can't start out. Look, let's give you the balance version of that. Let me be specific in what I mean. Just let your yes mean yes and your no mean no. That's it. That's where you have to stand with women. I don't care how much whining and temper tantrum throwing. You say yes, keep your word about your yes. If you say no, keep your word about your no. And that doesn't change no matter what she say or do, okay? So you gonna start how you gonna finish how you start, all right? So he got a point with that. Let's let him continue.
Freak, don't be a dick. But like, if you are not an independent male, if you don't put a woman in her fucking place when you're dating and after the wedding night, she will run your shit forever.
Well, that's true for a simp, but look, I'm gonna tell you something. Y'all know something? You might not believe this. I'm so smooth with the women that I deal with. I don't have to curse at them. I don't do no cursing. I don't do no yelling, no none of that. I damn sure not gonna put my hands on you. I'm too smooth for that. My talk game is airtight, okay? I can get them to do what I want them to do by just talking about it. That's it. When your masculinity is up to code, they're gonna cooperate. And damn, my brother William Morant said he and the hot tour girl can be a thing. Oh, William, come on, William. Brother William, look, okay. If you put him with the hot tour girl, now she gonna cheat on him. See, we trying to get in with a white woman that's gonna stay with him. Hard tour for the streets, okay? Come on, look at the video how she got famous. Hot tour on that thing. Yeah, she gonna be sucking everything. She gonna be sucking all these little Chad Thundercock friends. You know, that's what the white boys call them. She gonna be with the Chads, man. Come on now. Hot tour make him go deep in. Can you imagine? He mess around and get with Hot tour. Okay, if you don't know who she is, y'all don't want to know. Trust me. if he get with her, mess around and catch her cheating, he would lose his mind because you can see this little boy right here clearly don't know how to handle no type of rejection. See, this is the one right here that if this girl got ready to leave her, he'll be on that. If I can't have you, nobody can have you. Man, let me tell y'all something, man. And Lord knows I hope it ain't no young black men over here with that mindset. Maybe some tethers, but hopefully ain't no men on my lineage. Man, look, if it come time where a woman say, look, hey, man, I don't think this gonna work. You know what I'm saying? I can't do this no more. The only thing you supposed to say is, okay, all right, cool. You gonna be all right? You gonna be all right. Trust me, man. The math is on our side. The women outnumber us, man. You can get you another woman, brother. And if you're so scared that you can't, that means that your masculinity wasn't up to code and you didn't need to be dating in the first place. Listen, yeah, you don't want them to go. We want y'all to stay, but hell, if you want to leave, hey, I'm not gonna go out my way to try to stop you. I'm not. I want you to be where you're gonna be happy at, okay? GBS chases not one. I'll joke, play around, tease, clown, flirt, but man, shit. Any chick that get to saying you don't want to be over, all right, okay, cool, man. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you because you're going to be replaced damn near time you leave, okay? I might be a gentleman enough to wait till you leave before I start replacing you, but I'm just saying, you will be replaced, okay? No, that's one thing, boy, 99 problems, but y'all know the rest, okay? So anyway, man, we can't put in with hard to it, though, man. That'll be disastrous. Things will happen, and then, you know what I'm saying, it will make the news, and, you know, and don't tell him, man, he'll go out deep in, and he look like somebody that probably go and get some explosive, too. He wouldn't just go get a gun. This little motherfucker look crazy as hell. His energy is just disturbing. See, the main number one thing that you must remember during this broadcast that let you know that he's out of his mind is that fucking Party City mustache, okay? That shit is deranged. Who run around with a mustache like that in 2024 going into 2025? I'm just saying. Listen, Charlie Kirk, Tucker Carlson, get your boy, man. He needs your help, man. There's a crowd for help. So let it continue.
It doesn't reverse. And if it does, it's very difficult. Any married man will tell you, you gotta lay, and I know that just because, look, I just have good instincts. You have got to establish at the beginning that you're the boss, and if she's not okay with that, then she's not gonna be the one.
Damn, he talking like he got a little bit of sense right there. Now, again, I agree with him. If you don't, you know, if she ain't with your program in the beginning, she ain't gonna grow to get on it. It ain't gonna be no workaround. So I will give him credit there. You gotta lay what your program is in the beginning. Don't be a punk. Say what you where you stand, what you require, and let her make the decision where she gonna cooperate. And if you get it square that, okay, look, this is my deal breakers right here. This is what I'm about. This is what I tolerate. This is what I don't. You need to make it clear that, okay, now that you've told me you understand this, the minute that I see you doing what I'm talking about, if you try to put me to the test to see if I'm bullshitting, I ain't gonna yell and argue at you. See, that's another thing. I keep telling y'all, there's a difference between alpha males and sigma males. I fall into the sigma category. The alphas will argue with you. The sigmas be like, okay, I already told you what it's gonna be. Ain't finna be no argument. Ain't gonna be no conversation. I told you. And I meant what the fuck I said. Huh? We vote with our feet. We move in silence. We ain't finna go trying to negotiate. Why did you do it? Hell no. No. Especially those of us that live a comfortable life. I'm gonna get your stressful ass out of my life, and I'm gonna continue to live a stress-free life. And I'm gonna replace you with something that enjoys a stress-free life. That's how a Sigma deals with it. Now that Alpha sit there and argue with you back and forth because of their ego. Sigmas don't do that. And bro, William Moran is hell. William Moran said he could get Lauren Boebert could give him a hand. Y'all don't know who Lauren Boebert is. Look that up. That's that Republican congresswoman that got caught doing all kinds of handed tricks in that theater. Man, look, William, he was complaining. I think he said that he was insulted early in the broadcast. Nick Fuentes. I think he said that he was insulted by they said he had a small penis. So, you know, Lauren might either hurt him or she might not have enough to work with. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, man, you hell for making that comment, man. William on the road tonight, boy. All of y'all in here on the road, man. Let's let it continue.
If she's not down with that, that's the bitch who's going to ruin your life and divorce you. And laying down the law.
Hold on, man. Boy, my chat room is showing y'all ass. Man, Dad Miller TV, Lorena Bobbitt. Damn, bro. Well, you know what? Shit. Hold on. Because he is a white man. That might kind of be, you know what? That might be a good pick right there. That'll make sure he don't mess around and get no pity sex and procreate. That bloodline does need to end, okay? We don't need no more Nick Fuentes running around with kids that want to grow up and route Party City mustaches. Yeah, so I don't know, man. That might be the winner right there, man. You might be on to something, Dad Miller TV. Let's let it continue.
Means you cannot show weakness. You know, your wife is not your best friend because your best friend can't take all your shit. You know,
Oh, boy, I want y'all to listen to where he got about to go with this because, like, I see what he's saying, but I'm going to let him finish it, and I'm going to tell you what the problem is with this type of thinking.
I have best friends. I'm not married to them. They don't have a say over all my stuff and my kids, and they don't have control over my sex life. You know, if you have a male best friend and you sign a contract and say, hey, my male best friend is entitled to half of my stuff, and my male best friend gets to say if I get to have sex or not, you know, then it's comparable. But it's not when it's your wife. So you can't show weakness to your wife. You can't. Your wife has a dagger pointed at your throat. Is that an unfortunate way to look at it? Yes. Is it true? Yes. Does it make it adversarial? Unfortunately, yes. But that is the case.
So now you heard what he said. Now, there's truth to what he said as far as like, okay, being in a friendship as far as like with men and women is totally different. And it's supposed to be, Nick, because if we're heterosexual men, we don't expect from our women what we expect from the men that we have acquaintances with that we call our friends. At least I don't, okay? Being, straight males. And I don't know what his situation is. But dealing with what he's saying, okay? That's that doom and gloom, worst case scenario thinking that I was talking about earlier in the broadcast. And you can't live your life always looking at the what if, the what if, the what if. Again, if you that type of man or woman that you live your life by what if, that means that, to be honest with you, you're not ready to be dating anybody because you don't trust yourself. That's what that's really saying. You don't trust yourself to pick the right person, okay? And in his case, I think I'm right about it, unless some of y'all prove me wrong. I don't think this boy had a father in his life. I just really don't. He just seems to be, brothers, is it just me? Is it just me, or do y'all sense that as well? Because, see, by the time we get to a certain age, if we get around dudes like this and they talk long enough, we can kind of tell, like, yeah, you kind of, daddy wasn't there. He couldn't have been. Because you're too unstable as a man. See, those of us that have our fathers in our lives, we take things in stride, okay? Because we had the proper guidance growing up. And then whatever guidance we did not get from our fathers, we were given enough to go out here in the world and navigate and learn how to deal with things, how to solve problems, how to deal with rejection, et cetera, okay? We're a little bit more calm than this, man. All that irate, angry energy like that. See, nah, man. Yeah, I'm just saying, brothers, y'all feel what I'm talking about? I know, yeah, Black Truth United, he said he feel it. The rest of y'all brothers, do y'all get that same era from him that he just, didn't grow up with daddy? But again, I'm just guessing that, but he just come off as that way. Okay, and look, and if he did have a father in his life, he wasn't worried too dead flies. Cause this how your boy come out? Emotional and erratic. Cause see, this wouldn't be a good combination, even if he did get in a serious relationship with a woman. You can't have two erratic energies. One person got to be the stable in the relationship, okay? Somebody's got to have the stable energy in the relationship. And see, this dude here, he seemed like the type of white guy especially, that the minute that something went wrong, he would just lose his shit and get to screaming and cursing and all of that. No, man. See, while he talking about how you start in a relationship, here's one of my rules of thumb. I let them know, I'm like, listen, if I got to be arguing at you and you get to the point where I feel like I got to be cursing at you, that's going to be the end of that. Okay, and you ain't going to be raising your voice at me. You damn sure not going to put your hands on me in the way that I don't put my hands on you. Okay, so it's just certain things you need to get established in the beginning. I will give him that, but like I said, man, his homies need to reach out, need to do an intervention because the boy just got arrested for pepper spraying folks. In a sense, I do understand somebody come to your house playing, even if it's Nick Fuentes, he does have a right, to defend himself at his home. But I'm going to cover that situation in some upcoming content. I might do that on Patreon because it's kind of funny. But I mean, the boy having all kinds of problems, okay? Apparently how that happened, somebody doxed his address and they found out where he lived and some goofy came up there playing or whatever. It's a whole big thing. We'll get into it at a later date, though. Let it continue.
Person with the dagger at your throat, you cannot show weakness to them. You cannot show weakness. You cannot give them the impression that they can get their way. You just can't. And that's unfortunately the way it is. So all these people saying that you should be crying with your wife, do not cry in front of your wife. Do not tell your wife your insecurities and vulnerabilities. Do not tell your wife these things.
Y'all see how animated this boy is? He jumping up, about to get up out that seat, boy. Man, talk about a meme-worthy picture right here, boy. This is classic white supremacist psychopath. But let's deal with what he's saying. Yes. I will agree that we don't have no business being a bunch of big emotional punk asses around our women. However, there are going to be times where, yes, if you lose a loved one or something like that and you cry about that, that's normal, okay? That's normal. And any woman worth a damn would understand that. But now, are you supposed to be the man that's always, being vulnerable around your woman? This is going to sound controversial, but no, you're not supposed to be that. Because even if women say they want that from a man, if you do that long term, yeah, she going to kind of start to look at you as weak. She is. I'm not saying in every scenario, but I'm saying if you did one of these dudes, and put it like this, if you a Van the Crime Man Jones, now ladies, I want you to be honest, because I know some of y'all be like, GBS, hold on. Just bear with your brother for a minute. For the women that's in here, let me ask you a question. If you disagree with what I just said, how many of you would like Van the Crime Man Jones as your husband? Anything happen, he just running around like he's shedding onions or peeling onions all the time. Van the Crime Man Jones. How many of you women in here would like Van the Crime Man Jones? Because, emotional man, he gonna tell you all about his feelings to the point that you don't get to talk about yours, okay? Every 5 seconds. You be like, Van, could you take the trash out? Oh, God. Oh, God. You asked me to take the trash out in such a harsh tone. He gonna be crying, okay? Van, baby, I need you to change the oil. Oh, God. Oh. I can't go out there. I might get my hands dirty. What happens if the car falls on me? Oh, my God, I can't do it. Oh. How many of y'all would like that, huh? A big emotional simp-ass bitch. Huh? I'm talking about, man, his emotions don't get turned off. Van the Crime Man, okay? I mean, we got jokes. I'm just saying, ladies, any takers? Y'all don't want them? Sister Stuns said heck to the no. Ms. L said no. Tanisha Murdoch says no. RY says heck no. Wait a minute. Brooklyn Queen 125. You don't want you a Van the Crime Man Jones? Come on, man, ladies. So, all right, ladies, hold up. I gotta ask you a question. So what if Van the Crime Man decided to leave that white wife and he want one of you fine sisters in this chat room? You won't be able to deal with a little bit of crime from time to time and bring him back to the community. I'm just asking. Ain't no text to save Van the Crime Man? Anybody? Come on now. Hey, Black Truth United just pointed something out. He got 100 million now, y'all. Ladies, he got, hey, look. Could you put up with Van the Crime Man Jones knowing he had that 100 million? 100 million, ladies, now. Come on now. Any takers? Well, the women quiet over here. They're like, oh, brother, that's fucked up. Because I know y'all think about the 100 million, but the crime, could you deal with it? Damn. Brooklyn Queen 125 said, no, thank you, GBS. Not even for the 100 million? Really? Shit. Damn, Van. So I guess women don't really want these emotional men like some of them say they do. See? So sometimes you have to prove your point with a little bit of humor, ladies and gentlemen. So anyway, I do agree with Nick there to a degree. Yeah, we ain't got no business just whining and blubbering all over the place because the man is supposed to be the strength and support group, the support pillar of the family. Does that mean we don't never have our moments of weakness? No, of course we do. But we supposed to be balanced in that, okay? And look, if you need to cry on your brother sometime, you have to take you some time by yourself, okay? And do that if it's not something like the loss of a loved one or something that's understandable, okay? Something that's understandable, all right? But yeah, I agree with him to a certain extent on that. And hopefully he'll sit his little earthworm ass back down in his chair before he fly out the screen here. Because see, if he fly out the screen, he might land in y'all living room. I know y'all don't want that, okay? I know y'all ladies don't want that, all right? So I'm just saying here, let's let it continue.
Because, look, your wife she might be a nice person. Will she be the same person in 10 years? Is anybody? Are women? She might not be the same person after childbirth. She might not be the same person after menopause. She might not be the same person after she stops being able to have kids.
Salute to the good brother Project Leroy for the cash out. Thank you very much, my good man. Now listen, he's got a lot of what ifs. And see, this is all coming from a place of fear. But I'm going to tell you something. A brother that's rooted in his masculinity, we don't fear none of them changes. You know why? Because masculinity is a balance and it's a guidepost for anything in your relationship. It is. We can navigate them so-called changes. Because see, for one, if you pick the good one, yeah, she's going to go through her issues. She can't help that. That's a part of a woman's natural biology. She's going to go through different hormonal changes. But does that mean that she's just some crazy nutcase that can't ever control herself? No. I'm not going to put that on women like that. I've had and been with too many, and I know better than that, okay? I know better than that. See, what this boy is doing, and see, I got to go here. I don't think this boy's had much experience with women because he's talking like it, and then the way he dressed kind of give him away, too. I'm going to be honest with you. Fellas, anybody get that? Ladies, what y'all think? In my opinion, I don't think the boy done had too many experiences with women. Because he just talk like he don't have no type of masculine dominance about himself. He talking like he think he does, but I can tell that he doesn't understand how to deal with an erratic or emotional woman. Listen, a lot of y'all women ain't gonna like what I'm about to say. Brothers, testify to this if you can relate to it. How many of y'all, and wait, let me preface this. If you a married brother, be quiet. I don't want to start no problems in your marriage, okay? So if you're a married brother, just be quiet, all right? But for you brothers that are not married, that are in long-term relationships or have been with women, or if you're single, how many of you have been in situations where your woman just, y'all know when they just go DEFCON, female, estrogen crazy. Oh boy, emotions on 10. Look, they've grown an extra head out the side of their neck and put on battle armor and they just, like a little Tasmanian devil. How many of you have dealt with that and stayed completely calm and let her get that all out her system and then just go ahead and talk her right back down to normal? The extra head go back in her neck, the battle armor falls off, and she's just as nice and innocent as a purring kitten, okay? See, if you're a masculine man, you can do that. Where my brothers at with the skills, man? I know I can't be the only one. How many of y'all can relate to that, huh? Talk to me. Talk to me now. Talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Because, see, we don't get bent out of shape. Salute to the good brother, Kia Edwards, for the cash out. Thank you very much, my good man. You know what I'm saying? Because, look, ladies, look, I'm finna make all the women mad in here, but I'm making you mad out of love, okay? Listen, every man in here, and if you're a married man, just be quiet, okay? I don't want to ruin your marriage. Every man in here can relate to this, though. Sometimes when y'all get mad at us and bent out of shape about stuff, sometimes we just be like, if y'all could read our mind, y'all be mad as hell. We be like, ooh, look at that sexy thing over there, boy. Oh my God, she furious right now, but she don't understand. I'm just looking at these lips. All we hear is wah, wah, wah. We're like, man, girl, you ain't talk about nothing. We looking at those thighs and everything like, man, as soon as she finishes all this mad stuff, I'm gonna let her calm down and I'm gonna bite her right on her ass, okay? I'm just saying, man. Brothers, I know I ain't the only one. Be like, yeah, you mad, but you still sexy as a motherfucker, okay? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And look, you know what they really don't like? Because see, Nick can never master what I'm about to talk about. They really don't like it when they be upset and they just furious. And then you fuck around and make their ass laugh and they still want to be mad. Ooh, y'all know y'all ladies can't stand that. Y'all little mean asses. Why y'all don't like it when we make you laugh when you're mad? Because you don't be mad about nothing most of the time any damn way. You'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Laughter is good for the soul. We trying to help you live longer. Brothers, where y'all at, huh? Come on now. I know I can. Look, see, I'm going to tell you something right now. One thing about your brother, I'm silly like that. So if you one of these little angry, mad women, you don't want to be with me because I'm going to make you laugh. I'm a fool with it, okay? I'm trying to tell you right now, man, I might just start a roast battle with you for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm so ignorant with it. As long as it's nothing serious. Now, if it's something serious, yeah, we're going to discuss that. But if it ain't nothing serious, man, I will start emulating you and putting on my... Y'all just heard my impressions, okay? I will emulate your voice and everything. I will make your ass mad as hell, but you're going to laugh your ass off. You're going to be wanting to fight. I ain't going to let you get close to me, and I'm still going to be cracking jokes. So you ain't going to have no choice but to come down anyway, okay? I'm just saying. And look, if all else fails, I will tie your little ass up and tickle the bottom of your feet until you to return back to normal, okay? I'm just saying. I will take a feather duster, tie your little mean ass up, and tickle you on the bottom of your feet. So I'm just letting you know, if you gonna be my woman, you're gonna be happy, all right? You'll be running around with your face all frowned up, looking like a little gremlin or a little demon, okay? We ain't gonna have that, all right? So I'm just saying, ladies, look, just letting you know sometimes, and look, here's the thing. We be all right as long as we don't laugh. Why do y'all get mad when we laugh because you mad? See, look, shouldn't that be a sign that we love you? You know what I'm saying? We laughing because we love you, okay? We're not laughing because we pick on you. We're just like, man, this woman don't realize that as mad as she is, I still love her batshit crazy ass. I wouldn't be here, okay? So see, that's how we do it over here in Black America. This little angry Party City mustache boy, he can't relate to none of that. Because see, gotta be honest, I know why them folks envy us so much, all jokes aside. They envy us because they don't love like we love, family. They really don't. The stuff I'm talking about, man, that's unique to us. That's why they women want a taste of that. Because they don't get that from white men. They don't have no flavor in either one of their souls. This is why I don't really want their women like that, because they don't have no flavor in their soul either. You know what I'm saying? They think you're just supposed to stay angry at each other. I'm like, listen, man, as black folks, we know we all we got. Yeah, we get angry. We're human beings, but we ain't, as long as it's nothing egregious, we ain't gonna let that shit just stand to the next day. Because listen, ladies, I'm tell y'all something right now. Most of y'all really ain't gonna like this one. I don't give a damn how mad you get. If I've been with you long enough to know what your favorite food is, I got something for you. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna come back with that shit. You gonna smell it before I get in the house, and that big ass gonna calm down then. I bet you. Huh? Yeah. Your inner big back is gonna come out. Bring that favorite food of hers in there. Hey, all them words just drift away. Oh, I know they hate me for this. I know you hate me for this. We know you. We know you, ladies. Oh, don't let it be no favorite dessert or something. See, I'm so petty with it. I'll go get the shit while you mad at me talking. I'll be eating the frame. I'm like, yeah, that's some important stuff you talking about. You want some of this cake over here, baby? You know it's your favorite. Ooh, it's so good. You know it'd be even better. You know, if you got some of this cake, you know what I'm saying, and you ate it, and then just let me chew on your arm so you can be sweet again instead of angry, okay? That's how I do you, okay? Just letting you know, all right? Ain't gonna be none of that staying mad if you with me. But anyway, fellas, y'all can relate to it. We're gonna let this angry incel get back to it. We're gonna wrap him up here in a minute, because I know y'all like, my God, how much longer you'll make us watch the Party City mustache? We gonna be done this thing. We got about 5 minutes to go. Let's let it continue.
She might not be the same person after something happens to her. You can't take a chance. So that's the problem. We change. We change over time. We become different people. In the old days, it wasn't a problem because divorce just wasn't a thing. And if it happened, there had to be an extraordinary circumstance. And the women were totally subordinate to men, but it's not like that anymore. And there was also a culture against it. It was dishonorable. It was shameful. No woman wanted to be divorced. Now women encourage each other to get divorced. Social media encourages women to get divorced. Film, television, TikTok encourages women to be promiscuous.
Oh boy, yeah. See, he don't realize that all this here fearful talk he talking about. And look, these things are real, but Nick, little boy, what you don't understand is if you a hell of a man like me, bro, you ain't worrying about none of that shit. You're like, yeah, it's out there, but I'm a hellified nigga. She ain't going nowhere. The fuck you gonna go out there with that? And see, look, here's the thing. I'm being facetious, but I'm so serious at the same time. Let me tell y'all something, man. If you really a dude that's on your shit and you actually a man that's got your life together and your woman see that being with you, you got your shit together, let me tell you something. Unless you just do her some egregious harm, she gonna think twice about just running back out there in them damn streets again. But the first thing she gonna think about is the last nigga that she was with before you. Then she gonna look out there at all these miserable hoes. And if you're a man of wisdom and she learns things from you, she gonna be really looking at them hoes life and like, do I really want to be in the big back committee out here going out to eat every night, no men, drinking wine, and the best thing I have to take care of me is a fucking dildo? Or risk being inducted into the lesbian, you know what I'm saying, circle that with the rest of the big backs, you know what I'm saying? Because if she ain't really with that, she ain't gonna be happy out there, okay? So worrying about just worrying, because man, look, a man that's solid in who he is, he ain't worried about that for two reasons. One, you know that, hey, you ain't easily replaceable like that unless you just do something to make that woman leave. And number two, if she do leave, okay, I'll get another one. I will get another one. That's going to happen, okay? It is. Now, I would like to keep the one I got, but hell, if you leave, all right, cool, shit. All right. Just roll on over here, you know what I'm saying, and go shopping for another one, okay? That's how that's going to be. And look, let me tell you something. Here's the thing. I'm not being arrogant. The brothers that do have their shit together like that, you don't have to go shopping for another one. Because the minute that you out and about doing your thing and they don't see you with, you know, that chick that you were with, boy, y'all women, boy, one thing I got to say today, for the brothers that actually fit that description I just said, man, y'all are cutthroat with it. At least from what I see here in my city. And I've moved around, you know what I'm saying, here, there, seen things, but I'm just saying, bro, a single man here in Atlanta that got your shit together, yeah, it's going to be competition, bro. that girl code shit go out the window. I'm telling you what I know, not what I think, okay? You know what I'm saying? Look, here's the fucked up thing about that, too. Let's just say it was a toxic relationship you got out of, and you the type of dude that's got your shit together, okay? Assuming you wasn't the problem. Sometimes the best thing to do is just chill out for a minute, man, and reassess some things. But see, if you got your shit together, okay, you understand how to dress like a grown man, and you don't run around out here smelling like, you know, hot Cheetos and ass and weed, women gonna always be approaching you. And that's where the discipline come in as a man to say, you know what, yeah, I kind of got out of a bad situation. I'm gonna take some time, just chill out. You know what I'm saying? It's hard not to submit to the temptation, okay? And look, this is the thing. The aggressive women down here that ain't gonna take no for an answer. They gonna stay on you, trying to tempt you. But the best thing to do is just sit down and chill out and get yourself together, okay? Because you don't want to rush into another bad situation. You need to process your thoughts. That's something that can save you from making mistakes out here, even if you are a man that's desired by women. Discipline is your friend. Trust me on that, okay? Let's let it continue.
Awash with options and FOMO and possibilities. It's not a stable situation. Now, some people say that's a good enough reason to not even consider getting married. I'm saying you should get married because that's the only licit way to have sexuality. You should try. But if you're going to get married, you must do it responsibly. And being responsible means you can't let your wife beat you at Mario Kart. You can't let your wife beat you at anything. You can't let your wife beat you and play fighting. You know, one of these...
Oh my God, do you hear this motherfucker? This boy right here, boy, you could tell he just spent his time online in these crazy spaces. Man, y'all killing him, boy. I got to go over and read some of these jokes, boy. Y'all killing him. Dad Miller TV. He said the boy got on a Mr. Building suit. Boy, y'all going in. Oh my God. Let me read some of these comments over here in these comments. Boy, Dad Miller TV said, not the same by the bell suit. That's Ms. L said, not the same by the bell suit for Mr. Building. Boy, y'all lighting him up, man. But he's supposed to be lit up. Because he's ridiculous. Listen, man, let me tell you something, dude. This whole you can't let your woman beat you at anything. Man, one of the most fun things you can do is find something that you and your woman enjoy competing in together. And hell, if she beat you, she beat you. You don't get mad about that. Hell, that's funny. You're like, okay. And sometimes we might let them win. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, look, let me talk about some things that people actually do that's normal, that's in relationships. And the couples in here will understand where I'm finna go with this. Sometimes you might just want to be silly with each other. Let's just say in the summertime or something, you might pull out some water guns and some water balloons, man. Just fucking have fun with each other. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no competition. Oh my God, I gotta make sure I throw more than she does. It's weird goofball shit. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and sometimes you might have a chick, she might be into playing certain games with you. You think if a woman beat me at something like that I'm playing, I'm gonna throw a fucking tantrum? Hell no, she won. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's just this stuff. The only way that I could see that making sense, because I'm trying to reach for some type of sensibility to what he's saying. Now, if it's something that's serious as far as like taking care of problem solving, okay, now yeah. If it's something tore up in the house, she got to be the one to fix it, or you know, anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Now that's when you don't want her beating you out of that, now, because you're supposed to be in the lead on that. But as far as just innocent shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Listen, man, this I can tell this boy ain't never been with no woman. Man, one of the most fun things to do with y'all little asses is a play fight. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, man, especially you little short women. Oh, man. Oh, that just made me think about some things that I won't share with y'all. But I'm saying it's fun. It's fun to play fight with your woman sometime, okay? You know what I'm saying? Because see, look, you ain't going to try to hurt her, but, you know, that's a fun way to let her know that, all right, now, you know, look, you can't do nothing with me. You know what I'm saying? It's fun to watch her try with her little tiny hands, too. That shit be hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I will take a pillar and whack your ass. You know what I'm saying? I'll play whack-a-mole with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. It's fun things that you do in relationships is my point, okay? But you have to be normal to understand that everything is antagonistic and adversarial. Only goofies think like that, okay? See, two people that's together, they realize that, hey, man, you better enjoy your life. And if you with somebody during the time that you together, you better appreciate them moments. You want to have more good moments than bad moments, okay? And see, I feel sorry for this dude in a way, because I don't think he's ever known what that's like. And the reason why I'm saying that, just look at his face. He looked too angry to have known what it's been like to be with a good woman. I can tell it, man. The energy is different, bro. He wouldn't fit around. If he came around a group of men that are normal, he would stand out. Even if he would just be the weird guy. Even if he wasn't talking about none of this stuff. So we could pick up on him like, yeah, you kind of off, bro. I'm just saying, man. Listen, Tucker, y'all took cars to get your boy, man. Okay, Charlie Kirk, y'all get your boy. Get your boy. He need help. Let's let it continue.
Guys posting Wife Jack posted how his wife gave him a black eye when they were play fighting. You can't fucking let that happen to you. It's funny, but it's also deadly serious. Because you know when women say they get the ick? That's fucking real. You know when women say, oh, when he asked for the waiter's attention and the waiter didn't hear him, I got the ick. That's completely real. I don't care how good your woman is. That's completely fucking real. When you slip and fall and hurt yourself, it gives her the ick. Okay? When you cry at your dad's funeral or whatever, it gives her the ick.
Nick, say that for your little soulless community over there in Alabaster land, because see, yes, we got problems in our community too, but one thing I'm not gonna let none of these clowns do is sit here and project that bullshit into Black America. Listen, let me tell you something, man. We got some of the sweetest women in the world over here in Black America. We do. We got some crazy ones out here too. We do. But I'm not gonna sit here and act like there's no loving Black women in our community. So again, I'm drawing the line and saying like, hey man, that might be true over there in white America. You ain't gonna put that on my people. You know what I'm saying? You look, you still got sisters out here, especially down here where I'm at, that are just kind for no reason, man. You know what I'm saying? With their goofy, silly self, man. I love that, man. See, look, Dudes like this that just angry at women for no reason. I'm like, okay, bro, you ran across some fucked ones, all right? You gonna let that be the story of your whole life? As a man, you are the navigator of your own ship. It's more women out there. Don't let those couple of experiences be the last. You're supposed to keep moving till you find what you want. Get your paper together. Hell, jump on a plane and go somewhere. Go to Europe, Nick. Ain't that where you want to be? Huh? Go to your motherland, okay? Wherever you from, because you're a white Hispanic. I don't know which kind of white Hispanic you are, but go where your people at. I would tell him to go to Greece, but he don't want to do that because some of the women have African genetics over there, even though they're white, they're darker white skin. Now look, I don't want you young men to get in trouble, okay? But if you go over there, they're gonna be choosing. But remember Bakari Henderson, he would go over there, okay? So just remember how that turned out. But I can't tell him to go to Greece. Maybe he can go to Italy, kind of find some of them women, or hell, better yet, go on to Russia. Go over there. Do what Donald Trump did. Get you a mail order bride from Ukraine or somewhere. I don't know. Do something. But this boy is just too damn angry at women, man. This shit right here is dangerous. Let's let it continue.
When you have a mental breakdown or you're not strong or you freeze up or you lose an altercation with your neighbor, she gets the ick because women are primal. Women are primal creatures. They're instinctual. They're connected to nature. They're attuned to people and socialization more than we are. And so any subtle things like that, they will pick up on. And if they can manipulate you, they will. And it's not because they're bad people. It's just their nature. That is women's nature. A man's nature is we manipulate things with our physical strength. We manipulate objects in our mind's eye and with our hands, okay? We are stonemasons. We're architects, okay? We're schemers. We're dreamers. We're builders of images and concepts and structures, and we're builders in the world.
Now, let me stop him right here because, see, if any of you listening disagree with everything I said up to this point, this is something you're going to have to agree with. Nick, everything you just said is true. Men in general are all of those things, but where we draw the line of demarcation, you talk about having all those skills, but see, when it comes to black men, we can do that. And we're very charismatic and we're very eloquent with how we deal with women. It's called game. Something that most of you white guys do not have. Whatever your version of it is, it don't work like ours. It don't. I'm gonna tell you right now, man, there have been times where I wasn't even trying to pull chicks. I'd be sitting down minding my own business at a table somewhere, and just how I speak or I'm talking or how I carry myself, my posture, pulls women to me. Unfortunately, sometimes it's from their community. I have to let them know, no, I don't do the white women now. I'm not, nope. Now, maybe I can introduce you to a brother that is into them, but I ain't, don't do the white women, okay? So that's when I hate when that works. Yeah, it's a difference, Nick. See, there's a reason why on the world stage, some would say we're number 2 behind white men, but I would posit to you this. Actually, in certain circumstances, we're number 1. We're number 1 because, look, once they've been with Zaddy and they get with him and then he gets sounding like Nick and then they come over there and see how loving most black men are, they prefer that. I don't care what race of woman it is, okay? I'm telling you what I know and what I have lived, not what I think, okay? And see, that's another thing, too. Let me talk to my young brothers out here, especially the older brothers. You should know this. But my young brothers, be careful with that charisma of yours because other men that don't have it, they will envy that. And they will want to hurt you if you're in other countries and you get to pulling their women. You know what I'm saying? Because, look, we're naturally more funny than them. Okay, we're very charismatic with our words. We're better dancers, okay? We're just more fun. We are. Don't combine that with being financially stable. Man, you go to other countries, man, and get to pulling these dudes, women like that, especially the ones that they want. They don't give a damn if it's the ones that they don't want. It's the ones they want. Oh, yeah, that's where your trouble comes in, okay? So you young black men, be cautious of that. Know that your charisma is a gift that most people don't have, and you are envied for it, and you have to understand that that brings a lot of hatred towards you, okay? So just be aware of that. That is our superpower. That like my brother Tariq Nasheed, that's our majora. Okay, that's our mojo aura. That's where that word comes from. Mojo aura put together. That's our majora. No other group has that. All right. And look, I got to give shout outs to the Caribbean brothers. All right. They got their own swag. The continental African brothers, they got their own swag. Okay. Now, as long as they ain't in that tether class, they understand how to keep a decent haircut here and then. Don't go running around, you know what I'm saying, with church pants and Nikes and shit on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on now. Y'all have to get together. But for the most part, y'all get what I'm saying. Okay. So Nick, that might be true of your men. That's all y'all have is y'all skill set as far as your problem solving. Listen, black men, we're the whole package, man. That's why you women stay looking at us. Let it continue.
And women manipulate things with emotions and instincts and people and words. And women are masters of those levers. And in the same way that they could get a baby to stop crying, in the same way that they know just what to say and they resolve conflict and they can seduce a man, that's their weapon. That's their mode. And men need to be aware of that. Your wife is not your best friend. She's your adversary. Now, not really.
You goofy ass. Y'all hear this boy? He gonna try to clean it up though. Watch him.
I mean, you become one flesh, but it is adversarial. You have to treat it on some level like that. Yes, she's your partner. Yes, you spend a lot of time together. You know everything about each other. You get along. There's things you love. All of that is true. Yes, you're in love, and there's things you love about her, and you're on a journey together, and so on. But we're all human, and we never stop having those intrusive thoughts, do we? Men, women, we never stop having intrusive thoughts. We never stop being who we are. None of us are pure. None of us are innocent. I hate to tell you that, but that's...
No, Nick. See, he's looking at it from the standpoint of devious, scheming, world dominating, thieving, murdering, conquest, killing, pillaging white America. Okay? Speak for your people. Your people don't have any natural love in them. You're not connected to nature. Nature actually hates you. That's why you can't be out in the sun that long without sunscreen. And that sunscreen ain't helping no more because the sun is getting hotter and hotter. It don't bother black folks. I haven't met a black person yet that ever got no damn sunburn. I ain't never had one. I spent lots of time out in the sun when I was a kid and sometimes now. Okay? You don't have no natural affection amongst none of you, okay? I just sit back and watch them sometimes. I'm like, wow. I see why they actually want to be all involved in Black American culture and listen to our music, eat our food. Because look, when you're not connected to nature and life like that, of course you're going to want to see what that's like. See, look, for those of you in this chat room, no matter what your lineage is, we've been black all our lives. Okay, so to us, it's something that we almost take for granted. Let me explain something to you. A lot of you probably never thought about this, but Nick Fuentes here is proof of it in a sense. A lot of them, they look at us as if, imagine, okay, if you was a kid, right? I'm going to go here because I got to give it to you this way for you to understand what I'm saying. Imagine if you were a kid, all right, and you were grounded. And right across the street, your best friend was throwing this party and you could look out your window, you could see, look like everybody having so much fun. Oh, man, music playing, they just having a ball. But you can't go over there. That's how white America looks at us. In their situation, them being grounded would be that even if they did come amongst us, they can't duplicate what we are. So they envy the way we're able to really enjoy and absorb life and live it to the fullest. This is why they have to create systems of white supremacy and anti-black racism to oppress us, because they're like, oh, you niggers are having too much goddamn fun over here. Let's ruin that shit. We ain't having fun. Nobody's going to have fun. Listen. You got hair that don't have lice in it. Ah, damn, lice been tearing my ass up all goddamn day. Let's get some of this racism going. Okay, see, that's where they got to do it. Okay, well, they can't enjoy their lives. They want us to live the same misery that they have. Misery does love company. Okay, now in our regal and immaculate black excellence, we don't let them make our lives a living hell, because one thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get together and have a good time. And no matter what incel babble is pushed by people like Nick Fuentes or some of these goofies like Myron, black men and black women in my lineage especially, we're going to get together and love on one another. Okay, we gonna do that. All right, there's nothing that's gonna stop that at all. Okay, so in a way, I somewhat kind of feel his pain, but that's for his community to heal. I'm just gonna use this goofiness as a teaching tool so that y'all recognize when you hear this type of incel babble, especially from other black people. Okay, let it continue.
It's just true. Okay, there's one pure, innocent human being, or two, Mary and Jesus Christ. We're not them, okay? We're sinners. And particularly in this time, we're like sinners on steroids. That's why we have sacramentals, okay? That's why we have things like the First Fridays. That's why we have things like, you know, all these indulgences or opportunities to get them, because we are in a fallen time, okay? And if you think you're going to go through that naively and survive, it's not going to go well for you. You got to get smart. So, what was the question? Anyway, so that's the reality.
Yeah. So that's what we're dealing with, family. That's what you're dealing with there with those types of incels. And I brought this broadcast to you tonight so that you can learn how to tell the difference between these types of clowns that sit up here and spew this rhetoric, because unfortunately some of them in our community have adopted this crap. It's completely unhealthy. It's not based in any type of rationale. It's based out of fear, and it's based out of taking things to extremes. And you can't live life in fear and taking everything to the extreme. You have to live life based off of logic, and you have to understand that it's going to be risk to everything you do in life, okay? You take risks when you put on your clothes and walk out your house in the morning, all right? What you gonna do? Just stay huddled up in a corner somewhere because you taking a risk that you go outside your door, something could happen? That's a sad way to live. So I don't want none of my people, men or women, adopting that, okay? So I think I've made my point, and I'm gonna cease torturing you with Mr. Party City mustache and that weatherman suit that he got going on. Listen, I saw somebody in the chat room earlier say I ought to make a song out of that. Man, don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. Y'all know what I'll do. I will, man. Don't make me do that. You know what I'm saying? I wanted this to be the last time I put this little earthworm looking bastard on my channel, but that is a good ass idea. Now you already got my gears turned. See how y'all encourage my madness and my pettiness. Anyway, family, salute to everybody that contributed to the broadcast. Again, for the sisters that want to be a part of the Professional Women's X Space, is going to be hosted by me and my brother Black Vulture and Reloaded, if the good brother is able to oblige. It's going to be on Saturday the 14th, okay? Saturday the 14th, 6:30 p.m. Eastern is when we're going to go live on X. I will definitely put the link up to the X Space on Patreon, on YouTube channel, on X if you follow me on there. If you're not following me on X, you should be, okay? Links are in the description and about section of the channel here. So that's going to be a very productive space, because the last couple I did were just for the men. I know a lot of women was like, well, he don't talk to none of the women. I'm like, no, it just be times where the men need to get together. We need to converse about certain things amongst ourselves. But I definitely do value the opinions of the sisters. And this space that I want to put together is going to be to give, for the professional women, to give the younger sisters some game and hopefully get some networking going, okay? Because that's one thing I love about my platform. We all tend to come together and get things done online and offline, okay? So thank you to everybody that contributed to the broadcast. Remember, we are a great and mighty people. Don't let this incel rhetoric or the divest the dummy rhetoric make you draw away from your people. We need to draw together because we're greater together, and Black love is the best love. But that's it. Salute to you, Black first, and I will see you all in future content.